Please welcome Sharran.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. How's everybody doing? That was terrible. So we'll do it again, just to for my fragile ego. Is that cool? On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. How's everybody? See, doesn't that just make you feel a little better? Now, you don't. That's all the interaction I'm asking for today, right? So, sorry you had to watch that video. My team forces me to play that video every time, and it makes me cringe. But it's only 47 seconds long, so hope you were able to sit through that stuff. How many of you came here on an invitation from a friend, a loan officer, someone else? Hey, can we give it up just for them for extending you this invitation? Awesome, right? So they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that, and you guys didn't have to come. So thank you for being here. Fascinatingly, I live in Laguna Beach, California, and it is actually colder in Laguna Beach today than it is here. We have the once every 365 days of 51-degree weather, and tomorrow it'll be back at 70, so which is great. So us Californians, we always talk about the weather, always, because we pay 97% in taxes, so we should at least have good weather as a part of this, right? How many of you are okay, this is interesting. I wonder what the heck he's going to talk about. We've got a bunch of ballers in the room are what has he got that I don't know? I don't know. My goal here is to give you something that you can probably take away. My goal is to give you one thing that you can use in your business today. There is no hype. There is no theory. And I'm not going to talk about a vision, mission, value. I don't care about that stuff. I care about you and me getting rich. 7 people are interested in you and me getting rich. I don't what about the rest of you? And the interesting part is you're all really good Midwestern folk and you don't want to talk about money. I talk about money all the time. I let my son, who's 7 years old, deposit our checks. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking at all. My son deposits our checks because I want to teach, someone's got to take care of the family empire when there is one, right? And it's important because the more we talk about the things that are important to us, the better we do. Would you agree? And so I want us today, maybe hopefully this is a safe environment where we can actually talk about simple stuff. Cash, hey, how do you write that email? Can you actually send 9 words and still get it done? Do you actually need your pink font to send your postcard out that you haven't sent out for the last 6 months? I know you have. You've been working on the postcard for 6 months and you haven't sent it out and it's okay. I know why you didn't send it out. Because you're a perfectionist and you should rather be a marketing coordinator and not a real estate agent. I get it, it's okay. But I'm going to be super brutally honest with you if you allow me the permission to do that. Again, 9 people want to give me the permission to do that. Okay, is it okay if I'm brutally honest and very candid with you? Yes. Thank you. And being brutally honest and being very candid, actually, sorry man, you're good. I am totally ADD, ADHD, so I can't, if I stand here, I feel I feel like Fitzer, king of the world, right? Sorry, where's Jeff? Hopefully you didn't hear that. I was born to some just really great parents, and I want to tell you a story of what happened on a park bench when I was 10 years old. And if I'm going to be honest with you, you really need to hear the cold hard truth. And I want to share something that's important that actually will feed into what we're doing today. So I am colorblind. I am tone deaf. I have ADHD. I have dyslexia. When I was a kid, I didn't hit my growth spurt until I was, 11th grade, right? And I think I was 4'1" for the first 16 years of my life. And because of that, the problem was when you're not good at, when you can't do math, when you can't read, when you can't spell, when you're decent at sports but not fantastic, you get picked on a lot. And I got bullied a lot. And so my parents realized that, I would actually take a circuitous route to go from one classroom to the other classroom so that I wouldn't get bullied and beaten up, right? And I share this, it took a lot of years of therapy to share that, by the way, say good job, Sharran, good job. Thank you. You see, I'm just getting you to prey on my ego. This is fantastic, right? I got a video to prey on my ego. I got Jeff to give me a great introduction to prey on my ego. This is fantastic. So my dad realized this, and when I was 10 years old, we were sitting on a park bench, and I said, Dad, how do I do it? How do I get better? And we were not very well off. We're poor. I lived in a single bedroom apartment for the first 14 years of my life. And my dad said to me, you know what, dude? We got to do better. We got to do better, and we got to find you a way out of this country. And I was born in India. And what my parents did was they sold a story of how I got there, but they sold everything that they had. Every personal belonging. Everything, right? And they moved in with their sister and brother, and they gave me one check. So I was not this guy that showed up in the US with $25 in his pocket and made a dream out of it. No, I had one check for 1 year of college. So I had an amazing head start, but I only had one year's worth and a $100 bill. And off I come to this country, right? My first day, so I get this check that I can go deposit at college. So I show up the first day, August 16, 1997, I show up at school. We made this decision really late, so I couldn't, I actually played on the pro tennis tour, and that was my way of getting out of India. But once you play pro tennis, you can't play college tennis. So you can't go from pro to amateur status, which I didn't know, right? So I was like, oh, I got to not take any of these big-time scholarships. I got to actually pay for school. So I found a small school in Iowa, and it's nice talking to Midwestern folks because they know where Iowa is. And California are like, Iowa is, they're like, Iowa. And I'm like, who are you guys, right? Like, if you told them beach, they know where it is, but like Iowa, they don't know where Iowa is. Anyway, so I show up on the first day of school. I'm really excited. I go to financial services. I deposit my check. And the lady, as nice as can be, nice as Midwestern as can be, she says, Sharran, this is fantastic. Thank you. Awesome. Here are your keys to your dorm room. I'm like, dorm room? Fantastic. This is great. And she goes, hey, since your check is an international check, it's going to take 10 to 14 days to clear. I'm like, no problem. But the problem was there was a problem. I didn't have any money. And I didn't have money for food. And so I went to every pizza party for like the next 3 days, right? It's like, do you want to rush? Do you want to go to this? I went to every pizza party possible. I drank so much what is with the root beer floats and parties, right? Like college parties and root beer floats, that's all I did. And then a couple days went by, no more parties over the weekend. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any food. And this is me being really honest. And I didn't tell this story to my parents until last year, right? So I didn't tell the story for like 20 years. And I was walking by a dumpster. And I saw two kids throw 2 big boxes of pizza into the dumpster. And I hadn't eaten for a couple of days. And so I was like, okay, I'm not quite there yet, but I'll wait around maybe until it's dark so that no one sees me jump into this dumpster. So I waited around, put my hoodie on, jumped into this dumpster, grabbed this couple of boxes of pizza. There were 2 or 3 slices in the dorm room. I was super grateful. Super grateful that I could eat. It was good. Another couple days went by. I hadn't eaten much. Walked by this dumpster again. And in fact, I was just standing by it to see what would happen. So I saw these 2 guys throw 2 big Subway sandwich bags into this dumpster. I was like, oh, jackpot. It's amazing. And so I wait till the sun goes down. I jump in the dumpster, and I grab these 2 Subway sandwich bags. I also see the great American dream, which is strawberry Pop-Tarts. I see this box of strawberry Pop-Tarts, right? And I look at this box of strawberry Pop-Tarts, Caleb, and I say, what is this? This is amazing. And I grab the box of Pop-Tarts, and suddenly something pretty wild happens. I see 2 glowing eyes looking at me. There was a raccoon inside the dumpster. And the raccoon, and all I know is something slaps me in the face, and I start to bleed. The raccoon just whacks me in the face. I'm bleeding in this dumpster. This is all happening in like a span of 4 seconds, right? I grab this box of Pop-Tarts. I grab this Subway sandwich bag, this raccoon, and I kid you not, like it's fight or flight. I just kick the raccoon, and I jump up the dumpster. I'm running. So I'm like, wait, should I eat first or should I just go to health services? So I did the right thing. I ate. Then I went to health services. I got my tetanus shot. And I sat outside back on another park bench, and I realized, and I don't share this with you for you to feel pity for me or anything like that. My check cleared, and I got better, and I got money, and all of that good stuff. But I sat down on this. I'm sick and tired of just fighting for survival. Wouldn't it be amazing if someone just handed me a formula and said, hey, Sharran, do these 5 things, and it'll be amazing. Like, no one ever gave me a formula. And why do we like recipes so much? So if you ever got a recipe and you got all the ingredients, you feel fairly confident that you can make that pie, right? Why? Because you have the recipe, you have the formula. And in our worlds, what happens is, as agents, we get into this business generally speaking, for 2 reasons. That we want to manage our own hours. Would you agree? Raise your hands if you would agree. You want to manage your own hours. All right. We want to have an unlimited, uncapped ceiling for our income. That's reason number 2. Raise your hands if that's true. Okay, you agree that those 2 are true, but that's all we know. No one actually ever tells us, hey, do these 5 things and you will be successful. And everybody has their own version of do these 5 things. We actually have, I'm a big fan of coaches and consultants, but we actually have some coaches who have never actually talked to a client telling you what to talk to a client about. Like, I know agents that memorize scripts that are written by somebody in 1983 that has never talked to a consumer. I am not joking. Let me actually tell you what happened. I was in a seminar. I was teaching this. I did this hot seat where I asked this question of an agent. She comes back with like an amazing answer, right? The answer was crap, but her delivery was fantastic, right? Her delivery was fantastic. And I was like, ma'am, where did you learn that? And she was like, oh, you won't believe it. And she pulls out a script book from her bag. And I'm like, this is fantastic. Let me show you something. I shared this with a couple of people in our private mastermind group this morning. So I took the script book. I flip it over. Am I borrow your pad for a second? I took the script book. I flip it over. And there's this, I won't tell you what it is. So I read in the bottom, it's like, call this number if you want to order more script books, right? So I take out my phone. I do Kim Kardashian style. Put it on speaker, right? And I put it near my mic. And I call the number. And then a really nice lady answers the phone. And I say, ma'am, I have one of your script books in my hand. I'd like to order. She's like, oh, honey, fantastic. And I said, I just have a couple of questions. First question, could you tell me when this was revised last? Let me find out for you. She comes back and says, oh, honey, the last time that book was revised and reprinted was 1983. Does it surprise you first? No, okay. The next thing I ask, I am live. This is a 1,000-person audience. Just like pin drop silence. And I know a lot of people have the script books, pin drop silence, right? And I'm totally going to get beaten today. Then I say, ma'am, do you have any idea who wrote it? I think it's a fair question to ask. She's like, oh, honey, I have no idea who wrote this. So essentially, the script by somebody who's never talked to a client before. And they want you to memorize that so that you can continue saying the most stupid things that still exist that don't actually benefit anybody in today's marketplace. And that I have a deep problem with. Would you agree that like we should all have a problem with that? Would you agree? Like that's my soapbox. Like I'm good now. I'm gonna actually like stop and be more happier. All right, cool. So the reason I tell you the story is that I hadn't told the story to my parents until last year. They heard me say this live on a Forbes podcast interview. And my mom sends me this email saying, subject line, podcast, we need to talk. We still have not talked about this topic, right? Like, I have no courage to talk to my parents who sold everything to do this. But the reason I want to tell this to share this with you is, I want to make sure that I can give you 5 strategies. Like a formula, a proven formula, that even if you put one of these and install them in your business right now, you will see instant results. Cool? Helpful? Yeah. Any math majors in the room? Wow.
Yeah. We don't do math.
You don't do math. You do percentage. 2.5%, 3%. That's all you got. That's awesome. So I want to give you, I do this I'm a math major. After being dyslexic, I'm a math major, by the way, just so you know. This is your formula to double your business. You guys good? All right, see you later. No, so over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to break down the pieces of this for you. And you guys can take notes, etc., but I'll make sure Jeff has the slides and everything. I have nothing to sell you today. If I reference a tool or an idea, I might tell you where to get it. But please feel no pressure to, I'm not trying to sell you anything today because I'm just here to be of service to Jeff and share with you guys. Is that cool? Okay, let's fire through this. So in the last... I want to share with you how many of you in the last 6 months have been on a listing appointment? Awesome. So I have this amazing fascination with being in the living room. And I want to give you some stats. So in 18 months, I went on 161 listing appointments cold. Cold. Do not know this client. An agent said, Sharran, can you come with me? Okay? We won 152 out of 161. Okay, that is a $457 million in listings taken. That's California, so whatever, right? Now, I said there's got to be a way to do this better. So in the next 5 months, I won on 87 appointments, and we won all 87 because I nailed something down. So overall, in 23 months, we went on 248 listing appointments for close to $1 billion in listings taken. There is no way you will win if you go against me. I'm not being, there's no hubris here. My pricing scripts are like 7 ways deep to Sunday. There is no way you will win. And I want to tell you exactly how to do that today. Cool? Okay. The interesting part here is we ended 2018 with 91 appointments gone on, all cold, never met the clients before, and won all 91, right? And I want to tell you one thing that we did in every single appointment that you can too. And I want you to save your judgment until I finish telling you how to do this, okay? Everybody walks into a listing appointment, and I want to tell you what I did. I did an appointment in Auckland, New Zealand. So it works in Auckland, New Zealand, it works in Laguna Beach, and it will work in St. Louis. There are some rules that are different, board, MLS, etc. You have to work around them. I get it. So instead of go to what does, let's go to what is possible. Can you offer me that, right? Okay. I did this in every single appointment, every single of the 248 appointments. This is what we did. Actually, let me actually tell you the story. The story is 10 oceanfront condos, and they've not built yet. They want to sell each condo for $10 million a piece. They're not built yet. Okay? They're interviewing 3 brokers. One of the brokers said to me, hey Sharran, will you come fly to New Zealand and go on this appointment with me because this is $100 million worth of business. So I was like, dude, they haven't even built anything yet. Like, why are we going on this appointment? He goes, well, they want to start talking to agencies and brokers right now. I said, great, fire up a Zoom. Like, I don't need to fly over for this. So we were the 3rd broker pitching, and so we pitched. In the first 5 minutes, I could see the room just totally glazed over, having been pitched all morning. Have you ever walked in a listing appointment and you're the 2nd or 3rd and you're like, you can see they're physically tired, right? And so I asked them, I was like, hey, forgive me, it's like 11 o'clock at night here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you've already done 2 hours of this. What are you trying to do? You know what the guy tells me? You're the first person to ask us that. Weird, but let's move on, right? And they said, you haven't had anything built yet. What are you trying to do? They said, well, we're trying to make sure to establish a comp. Because if we can sell 1 unit for 10 million, we know that we can pre-sell the others for 10 or more or comped around it. Makes sense, right? So the goal was not to sell 10 units at 10 million. The goal was to sell 1 unit under contract at 10. So they said to me, well, what would you like to offer? So I'm texting this agent in Australia, in New Zealand, saying, don't say a word, like I got this. I said, what are the other budgets that every other brokerage is asking? Oh, it ranges from 100,000 to 500,000. And I was like, that's a lot. They're like, well, what is yours? I'm like, how about $500? The guy's like, what are you going to do with 500? I was like, I don't know if I'm actually going to use the 500. So we built something called a countdown timer website. How many of you have seen something like this? Right? I show you this because our company builds this. You can use anything that you want. Essentially, all we said was, hey, exclusive Auckland estate, no address, nothing. And we thought the active buyer is either going to come from Shanghai or Sydney. That's it. That's what we decided. And we did $100 worth of Facebook ads to Shanghai, $100 Facebook ads to Sydney, 4 days, home under contract. We sold one for $9.9 million. 4 days. Do you think we got the other 9? Right? All we told them was pre-launch. There's insane power in pre-launch. And I know that they're going to new rules in the state of Missouri, so I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'll actually tell you how to work around that. I know they're going to new rules in the state of Missouri where you cannot actively promote some form of a coming soon, right? And let me tell you why. That's a very scared MLS because they don't want you to double pop it. They don't want you to do pocket listing. They want to make sure the client gets full public market exposure. Cool, that's why they want to do it. Are you guys aware that there's some weird coming soon rules coming down the pike? Right. I called 2 states, the state of Washington, and I called the state of Missouri, the boards. The only rules are these, and you should double check them with your broker. The only rules are these. You can't very specifically say 123 Main Street in this area is coming soon. You just can't say that. You can be generic to the neighborhood. So as long as you don't reference a property by address or a certain type, if you want to do a group of, you can actually do that. They just don't want you singularly identifying the property with its characteristics or its address. But double check that. Is that cool? Can I get some head nods, smiles maybe? Okay. The problem is, here's what most agents will say, and I know that at some point in your time in your career, you have said this too. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let's do whatever it takes to do it as soon as possible to get your home on the MLS so that we can get the widest possible reach for your home. Do not lie. You have said something like that in the past. Yes? Well, why? I don't disagree with that. But Sharran, Sean, and Jeff are saying the same exact thing in the living room. Would you agree, conceptually speaking? Especially when it's related to that. So when a consumer starts to listen to the same thing happen over and over, the consumer is like, everybody's the same, therefore I'm going to nail you and grind you on commission. Why do you think we get commission grinding? There's only one reason, because everybody sounds the same. Why do you think when you go to buy a car, why do you think they shop cars across dealerships and want to drive the price down? Because they believe the car is the car is the car. Do you believe the agent is the agent is the agent? Absolutely. I'm sorry. Do you believe all agents are made the same? No. Okay, so we need to find a way to showcase that we're not. I will tell you, I spent close to a third of the appointment actually talking to a client on what we do before a home comes to market. 1/3. Can you imagine spending a third of the time? And would you like the exact script for that? The problem, most people don't want to talk about what pre-launch is. Would you agree that you do a lot of things pre-launch, but we just don't, you do it normally, but we just don't talk about it because we do it all in the preparation for a home to come to market? Yes? But we never talk about what we do to get the home to come to market because we think that everyone else does that, therefore the clients don't need to know that. I'm going to give you a quote. You should probably write this down. Showcase the complexity, deliver the simplicity. The clients have no idea everything that you do. You got to make it so overwhelmingly complex for them, they understand how much you do. Have anybody actually shown a client a live MLS input screen in the living room? Why not? Isn't that complex? It's deeply complex. They think all you do is like speak voodoo into the air and hit enter and you get buyers. That's what the client thinks, by the way. But if you show them, look at all of this, like I actually show the client exactly what we do. You know what, I told this in the morning. How many of you have heard agents say, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Client, when we get your home listed, I'm going to make sure it gets on 258 different websites. Do not lie. You have used that at some point in some way. Do not lie. Would you agree? Like give me a shake head, give me like a wink, something. You have used that, right? Actually do. Show the client the MLS. This is what we do. Walk them through the painfully ugly MLS and say, oh, this is really complex, but I got you. This is why I'm going to get the home go on Thursday. You show them the granularity. And then right before I hit enter, I'm like, you're talking to others, and did anybody mention to you that they're going to get your home on 248 different websites like Zillow, Realtor, Trulia.com, etc.? Oh, yeah. Let me show you. When I hit this button right here, it automatically goes to them. Did you know that? The client's like, wait, you mean you don't go put it on? No, I don't. That's free. I hit enter and I get this. Did the other agent really tell you that they were going to get it on 200? You do it all the time. I mean, no. Like, why do you think it's easy to win? It's easy to win because like the average agent says stupid things, and because we are not taught how to. Like, no, I'm serious. Isn't that when you hit enter on the MLS with some kind of syndication, it goes to all these 248 websites? Isn't it true? Right, so isn't it also true that, yes, the client gets the benefit, but we actually take it on as something cool that we do to showcase to them that we actually do that so that we should win based on that? We do that, right? But it's actually not true because everyone else is doing it, so you might as well put them down so you can look really cool. You like it? But as long as you're in integrity with what you're saying, you're going to win. Now, if you think this is hokey and you're not going to say it, continue doing that because I'm going to continue to win. Right? And the people that are going to execute are going to continue to win. These are small things because the clients remember the small things. And the small things are what starts to get them the shifts because they're not going to remember that you have a 47-point marketing plan, but they are going to remember that every other person that said to them that their 248 website syndication that they don't have to do, they're going to remember that, hey, what else did Jimmy tell me that is not true? Right? And I'm not telling you to put anybody else down. I'm just telling you to call it what it is. Okay? let me give you the exact script. Are you ready for the script? Mrs. Client, it looks like between now and when you want the home to come on market in about 18 days, we need to declutter, depersonalize, maybe do a little staging, maybe do a little front yard grooming, etc., to get your home on the market in the next 18 days. Is that right? And they say yes. So, well, in this 18 days in today's market, it feels like a opportunistic dead period. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to show you a pre-launch strategy where I can actually cheat the market. Wait, what do you mean you're going to cheat the market? Well, what we need to do is there are 512 active homes in this neighborhood. 13 of them are 500 homes in this neighborhood. 13 of them are active, 4 are pending, and 6 have sold. Out of the 6 that have sold, 1 has hit a record price. Would you like me to show you my 7-step plan to get you to be the next record price? The client's like, wait, what are you talking about? You're like, well, if we go pre-launch, it allows us to test and cheat the market, because now without actually putting and accumulating days on market, I can actually test to see if the pricing that we came up with is the right one to launch with, and you and I can make a determination the day before it goes live. What did I just do there? I basically made price a non-issue in the appointment. People will ask me, well, what if Jimmy said he would list it for $386,000 when the price was only $300,000? It doesn't matter, because you've taken away the buying of the listing out. Now it's like you and I are going to launch it, we're going to try to cheat the market, and then we're going to determine what it is the day before we go live. Pricing is out. You don't have to compete on pricing anymore. And the person that gave them the higher price, irrelevant. They're done. Because now you're going to do it collaboratively with them. Good, do you need me to say that again? Yes? Okay. You're like, are you going to record me? No, we're going to record this, right, Jeff? Okay. Do you see the value of the pre-launch, though? It's how you pitch the pre-launch. I say the same thing every time. Mrs. Client, we need 18 days before we come on the market. It looks like there's a dead opportunistic period there as we get your home ready for sale. Wouldn't it be amazing if we had, you don't need photos, you don't need copy, you don't need address, you don't need anything. You're just testing the market. And now you must ask me, you're probably going to ask me, okay, Sharran, this is cool. This is a random landing page on a random website somewhere on the interwebs, right? How is this actually going to get to the masses? Is somebody thinking that? Okay, 4 people are thinking that. Is somebody thinking that? Yes. So the smart client is going to ask you, hey, Sharran, this is very cool. I see this website. I like it. Who's ever going to see this? How are potential buyers going to see this? And you say, well, there's 3 ways potential buyers are going to see this, and that's why this is very important. Number 1, I know the agents that have actually sold listings in this marketplace, so I'm going to make sure that they get the first email right when we have our listing signed today. Do you see the embedded command? Right when we have our listing signed today. There's no, I'm making the assumptive close. Number 2, in the last 6 months, we've had close to 312 people come through our open houses. And I know out of the 312, at least 42 need to buy a home in the next 90 days. I want to make sure I get this to them right away before it goes live. And number 3, you know, you've heard of Facebook advertising, etc. And some people think it works, some people it doesn't. But it's my job to make sure that no stone is left unturned. So I'm actually going to drive Facebook advertising traffic to this, because when people hit this site, they can squeeze and enter an email address, and it gives me a chance to follow up with them and figure out if they're the right buyer or not. Cool? You just got to have a now you have, it's like having a Porsche but not actually knowing where to drive it, right? How do you get it on the highway? You always say that your agents are 1, your existing buyers are number 2, and then how you actually target using Facebook, whatever, is number 3. If you work with our platform, you hit 3 buttons and we just do it all for you, which is pretty cool. But cool, helpful? I'm going to take a pause.
Yes.
Questions on pre-launch? Yeah.
Can you try to stay centered and keep the voice up? Because when you walk that way and talk down, it's hard to hear.
You got it. You got it. You just want me to stand up and be king is what you're saying. I appreciate it. All right. Pre-launch, is that cool? Is it helpful? Does it give you a sense of, hey, I might be able to weave this in some way? Who can share with me who's had a listing come on that's had maybe a 3-week kind of lead-up period? 3-week lead-up period to listing come on. Come on, raise your hands, right? Is there something that you have done in that 3-week period? Ma'am, tell me what you did. What have you done in the 3-week period? It's not a quiz, just I'm curious. You did a coming soon? Do you put a sign outside? Keep going. Keep going. This is good. Okay, coming soon sign. No, this is good. This is good. Coming soon sign. Coming soon on Facebook. Coming soon on Zillow, and you claim the listing. This is good. Awesome. Who else does something different? You created a site for the house. So you got a specific website for the house. Okay. The site for the house. Good. Awesome, sir.
We have a website, caseycomingsoon.com.
Okay, good. So you just have like a dedicated website for all coming soons, right? Good. And you put them on that. That way you can market them, right? Good. Awesome. What else, sir?
I go through my SOI for people within that parameter.
Awesome. Do you actually tell the client that you're going to do that?
Yes, I tell them I have a network of
Okay, awesome. So, sir, what's your name? So what he said was awesome. He said, hey, I actually go through my sphere. I figure out who may actually fit in that parameter, and then I might do some personal reach out to see if it's a good fit. The interesting part there is that's a lot of work, and that's good, and you're doing it, which is the right thing to do. I believe that you should find a way to showcase that in the listing in the living room, because the average person is not showcasing that. And the way to showcase that is using the magic words, let me show you, right? If you have, I'm going to make some numbers up. Say you have 200 people in your sphere, right? And you say, hey, Sharran, when you list your home, I have 200 people that are actively thinking about buying and who have deep connections with this. Now, all 200 may not be the right fit for you, but there's an exercise that I do that I call this my center of influence deep dive. I'm making this up, right? Let me walk you through this process. I go through this list, and you show them the list. I go through the list, this one by one by one, and I do this for each of my clients because each of the homes and each of the potential buyer profiles are different, right? And then you say, I go through them, and I go through them, and then I check them off. And after I go through them, I leave each one of them a personal voicemail, a personal video, a personal message, because we know that our best clients bring us our best buyers. If you said that in the living room, now they're completely changed. Now they're like, wait, he's going to spin his personal network to bring us buyers? That's insane, as opposed to just hitting enter on the MLS. Anything that you do, I'd love for you to use the words, let me show you, and it totally brings that concept to life. Cool, you already do the hard work. You might as well just pitch it. What do you think, ma'am? You had a thought around this.
Oh, no, I'm actually. She said write that down.
Right? You're like, yeah, go write that down. That's awesome. Is that good? That help? What else do you guys do for coming soons? One more, sir.
We look at, in the neighborhood, the co-op buying agents that have bought homes and represented buyers in the area.
Yeah.
We call them and kind of stroke their ego a little bit and say, it looks like you do a ton of business in the area. We have a new one coming. Just want to let you know about it.
I love it. Do you pitch that in the living room?
We tell them about it. It's not part of the presentation.
Okay, do you believe that that's an insane value proposition? I do. Yeah, and here's what I would do. Can you guys memorize some stats? You should write these down, right? Just write this down. I do this in every single appointment, every single time, and every single time the client's jaw will drop. Every single time, right? Mr. and Mrs. Klein, let me zoom out for a second. There's 131 million housing units in the United States, 13.2 million in California, 973,000 homes here in Orange County. In Laguna Beach, we have 175,000 units. In this community, we have 542 homes, of which 19 are active, which we call active, which is homes for sale. 7 are pending, which means they're under contract. Those are our best comps. Notice what I'm doing. Those are our best comps. And 4 have sold. Out of the 4 that have sold in the last 6 months, there's a wide variety of buyer pools associated with that. As a part of getting you the right buyer pool, we're gonna figure out how to reach each of those buyers that missed out on those 4 sales. Okay? There's a bunch of seeds that happen, right? Because then when you get to the pricing thing and they say, well, that listing is at 1.6 million, you're telling my home, and you're like, well, I told you that what's under pending is the right comp. Now it's a completely different conversation. So you got to seed along the way, because everyone will ask me, hey, what's the pricing objection handler? I'm like, if you have to deal with the pricing objection handler, it is way too late. You have not seeded it so far early. That's why everything that you do, you seed so much farther earlier. So I would find a way to present that as a system. And it's like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, there are 7 things that we do that is unique to us that actually helps us sell homes in today's marketplace. Let me walk you through it. Some of these are really manual because we want to do the best effort possible to get your home sold in the highest price possible, right? So build a system around it. Cool? Great. Awesome. One more for coming soon. What else do you guys do? As you can see, I'm a little nerdy and excited about this stuff. Okay, one more. Anything else for coming soon? I just want, sorry. You circled out? That's awesome, right? It's a little, like you got it not more than like 10 to 12 a year because people get irritated by that stuff. But circle dialing is really cool. Hey, I got something coming. This is good, right? So I'm going to write it down. Here's what I want to show you. There is a lot that happens and can happen in the coming soon period. Do you believe that if you end up doing all of those before the listing went live, do you believe that it will give your listing momentum? Yes. So I should totally talk about it. And forgive me for saying this, if you never actually do any of that, that's okay. Sometimes it's a pitch and it's okay. I'm not telling you to be disingenuous. I'm not doing that. What I am suggesting is if you can say, hey, there's 10 different strategies we can use for coming soon, and just a pre-launch. I always talk about pre-launch, and I only want to do this because everybody is going to say the same thing. Mr. and Mrs. Client, we should do everything possible as soon as possible to get your home on the market as fast as possible so we can get widest possible audience. And you're just doing that to refute that process. Good? I do this every single time in every single appointment, and the client will say, no one's ever spent this much time on being so meticulous on bringing our home to market. Whatever you do in coming soon will completely change how you answer the rest of the tough objection questions. And we can take a little bit of time later and we'll do like live objection handling. I can tell you, hey, if someone says, well, Jimmy said my home was worth $380,000 and you think it's worth $300,000 and you think Jimmy's going to buy the listing, I can show you how to like refute that, right? Without making the client feel like a jackass. Like you don't want to crush the objection, you want it to be a collaborative understanding because you having a great objection handler is only going to piss the client off because they feel like you had an amazing script and you pulled a once over on them. So everybody that's teaching these scripts are teaching you how to have like a winning conversation with the clients, but it's not a winning conversation. You want to show them that it's extremely collaborative and that you know what the heck you're talking about. Does that make sense? Right? Okay, cool. Is this like remotely entertaining? Come on. Okay. Good so far on the coming soon. I got to clap. Wow, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Good on the coming soon. Okay, getting into the interesting part. Then this is pre-launch. Okay, geographic farmers in the room. How many geographic farmers in the room? Come on, not half hands. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Okay. I'm not telling you what you should do or shouldn't do. I will tell you I interviewed the 72 of the top teams in North America, US and Canada, and I was trying to find the number one thing that was common to all of them. And it took me a long time and I could not find it. It was like an 18-month study. And then I realized that every one of those teams had a geographic farm. And I just offer that as a data point. Okay, I just offer that as a data point. There's anybody want to share with me a reason, and if you can be honest with me, that would be great, and I'll actually give you the first reason why you don't have a geographic farm. And I'll give you the first reason. It's probably a little expensive to farm, right? Can I get a nod ahead or something like that? Okay. Any other reason why you wouldn't have a geographic farm? Time? Say again? Okay, good. So you don't want to spend the money, so you can either do like a check equity or you can do sweat equity, right? You can do whatever. Okay, cool, awesome. Why would you not want a farm? Please be honest with me. Oh yeah, it takes a while to build up to get returns, right? Awesome. And you're like, and you also don't have any feedback loop of knowing whether something is working or not. And you're like, oh, I don't know if this is working. I got to keep doing it with no result, and then I'm going to find out that like I'm not getting any result anyway, and my 18 months is down the tubes. Something like that. Or 5 years, right? Okay, good. This is good. So the uncertainty of results would be 1. The potential cost and expense would be 2. Okay, good. What else? You don't know how to do it. You don't know how to, so the mechanics of actually doing it would be 3. Good, awesome. What else? If I handed you a geographic farm today and you had 7% market share already built in, right? Peyton was going to walk into a farm, it has 500 homes, and he had 7% market share built in, and he could just start as of today. Should he take it? Yeah. So net, what you're telling me is, if the farm existed and you got the market share and you got the buy-in and you got the results, it's probably a good thing for your career. That's what you're telling me, right?
Yes.
That was the awkward yes. Yeah, right? Totally cool. But I'm not what you don't want to do, but I want to share something super important with you. The first thing I want to share with you is, would it be okay if I shared with you how to pick a geographic farm? Can I give you the 1-minute version of how to pick a geographic farm?
Yes.
Anybody already know? I'm not going to be offended at all. Ma'am.
The amount of turnover, and then you gotta see if another agent's already owned in that area.
Awesome. 2 out of 4. Very good. One more. Who said that?
The one you like.
The one you like. All right. Very simple. So let's go with this way. There is first one is total number of homes. By the way, I did like a 5-minute podcast on this, and so including the slides, I'll just include the podcast, the 5-minute podcast with Jeff, and then you can just listen to the 5-minute one, so you don't have to bust your brains on this. Is that cool? Okay. The number one question that clients have ever, that agents have asked me, I tell you, going from 35 agents to 600 agents, the number one question every single week, Sharran, how do I pick a geographic farm that I'm never going to farm? Right? They're never going to farm it, I know, but they're going to ask me anyway, and I'm going to tell them anyway. It's totally cool, right? Sorry, I'm a little jaded by this stuff. Okay. Total number of homes. The second one is average sales price. I would like a 6-month trend. The third one, man, you got it right. There's 2 numbers. One is called turnover, and the other is velocity. And let me tell you what those are. And the last one is a dominant agent. Okay. You should know these for your farm regardless. So I'm going to say this is farm 1, this is farm 2. So total number of homes, you're going to say, hey, there are 500 homes in the farm. So I'm going to just make random numbers up. The average sales price is $250,000. Here it's $300,000. The turnover just means the number of units that sell on a per year basis. Okay? Do I have bad handwriting? Sorry, I have bad handwriting. Velocity. Total number of homes, average sales price, turnover, velocity, dominant agent. Good? Turnover is the units sold. Please, these are the only 5 numbers you need to know, so please help me out here. You don't need to know function, math, and all that, okay? Turnover, so out of the 500 units, say 50 units sell per year, right? The turnover is 10%, right? 50 over 500, right? The velocity, we know that every unit has 2 sides to a transaction, right? So to me, the velocity is 20% because you have that many potential commission sides to go after. Good? Good so far? Matt's not hard? And then dominant agent, I would tell you, anybody that has over 8% market share to me is a dominant agent. We did 212 zip codes. I had any title folks in here today? Title folks in here? Raise your hand, title folk. Title? Okay. Title folks are great because they're super helpful. They have access to all the data. And I had title folks pull farm numbers for 220 farms up and down the California coast. And I found 3 out of 220 that had 1 agent doing over 8%. 3. Would you believe that there's insane amount of market share available to you? We always are like, Sharran's got that market covered. Not really. And you have multiple sides. The reason I'm bringing this up to you is very specific. Every time we went into listing appointments, the number one competition, I did not worry about who I was going up against. The only person I struggled was going up against what they called a local market specialist, a local market expert. Because they were always the safe choice. That person could be a total dumbass. But they're always the safe choice. They don't even have to have sold much. They just have to portray that they're the resident expert. Right? My wife tells me, we're driving through my neighborhood. My neighborhood is the worst neighborhood for an agent to live in, and let me tell you why. Because you have to go through a neighborhood, go up the golf course, and you have to see every available sign of every other listing to actually go through your entire neighborhood. It is the worst, and it's even worse for a person that owns a real estate company that is driving and seeing all the signs that are not like my company's signs. It was excruciating. I told my agents, I was like, I will pay for unlimited farming. When I drive through streets, I need to see telesigns all over. This is insane. So my wife tells me, hey, that gal, she's doing a lot of business. And I go, really? She hasn't sold 1 home. She has her own home for lease in my neighborhood. And she does circular signs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Circular open house signs. That just like points to it doesn't point anywhere. You think that's unethical, illegal, whatever, but my wife thinks she's like the boss. It's amazing. It's amazing. The hardest part when you go up against, in a listing appointment, is when you go up against a geographic farmer. I will not, like even I would rather, how many of you agree that from a safety perspective, like you almost can't lose if you give that person a shot? And I don't know why we don't do that. So I want to give you a couple of really simple ideas. Would you like these really simple ideas to go geographic farming, which are cheap? Cheap. Okay. How many of you believe? Can I erase this? Is this cool? So if you're picking a farm, by the way, just do this. Hey, 10% market share here. Oh, 60 homes sell, but the velocity is, whatever. And you say there's, 3 dominant agents, right? There are 3 dominant agents. The 3 dominant agents doing over 8%. There's some still room. I like this farm over this farm if there are no dominant agents. Yes? Ma'am, you said about like taking time. If you can find a farm, as long as it has velocity, I think you will, the math is always on your side. Okay? So I want to give you, let's talk about farming really quickly. What do you do? What are the easiest ways to farm without spending a lot of money? Okay? Very easy. So can you all be honest with me? How many of you despise door knocking? Okay, totally cool, right? So you're just not going to do it. And I love you for it. That's totally okay. How many of you have no problem with door knocking? Okay, awesome. There's only 2 things that you do in door knocking, right? It's invitation and information. Don't overthink it, right? Invitation and information. You can either invite them to something or you can give them information about something. Don't overthink it. Okay, what is the entire job of door knocking? Sir, yeah, get face to face. Build relationships. Okay, good. So they see your face often, you have a conversation often, familiarity builds trust, right? Do you actually get contact information, or you're trying to? I try to, but initially it's about just making that face-to-face conversation. Okay, good. So, hey, I'm committed to doing this process. I'm going to be in your face as many times as I can. At some point over time, if I've talked to you multiple times, I'll be more comfortable asking for contact information. Yes? Something like that? Yeah. Okay, good. Anybody else do door knocking that would do it differently? Yes, ma'am.
I make a flyer for
Okay, good. So, okay. Good social proof. Anyone else? Ma'am.
I have a call to action landing page where they can go get a free home evaluation report.
Good. Awesome. Fantastic. So you got the free home value, right? So invitation, information. Okay. Give me any other way that you can start doing geographic farming cheap. Let me actually proceed. Do you believe that if you show up for appointments and you have geographic farming recognition, you will win more naturally? Yes, can we just agree to that? Okay, awesome. If that's the case, let's just talk about what else can you do? Would you agree that direct mail is expensive? So this is what we believe. I got 500 homes. I need to mail EDDM to all 500 homes 3 times a month or 2 times a month or whatever. That stuff gets expensive, right? Is it fair? How many of you think, what do I send this month? What do I send next month? What do I send the month after? How many of you actually struggle with I need to pull up, get new content, get new pieces designed, etc.? Do not lie to me. Yes? You actually get, I'm going to offer you something. For the next 6 pieces, don't change the piece. Send the same piece over and over again. Do you remember a piece that you have gotten and the second piece at the same time? You have no memory of it. It does not exist. Send the same piece. Why are you sending the piece? You're sending the piece for recognition, branding, getting warmed up, etc. Recognition, right? Send the same piece. Don't even build one piece. Send it every 2 weeks for 18 weeks. I'm not joking. Make it really easy. But here's what I would start with. Tell your friends at Title to just pull all the corner homes and start with them first. Because you get one corner listing, you put your double sign up, and then everyone has to drive past that. Stop sending anything else. If you have more time, more money, send the main drags. Main drags and corner homes are the only things that are going to drive value in direct mail. Everything else is 100% useless. You're going to think this is crazy. I mailed to 2 secret farms for 5 years. 2 secret farms, 5 years. One 500 homes, one 400 homes. 2 secret farms, 5 years. We kept changing it up. And small things like, how many of you sent an I have a buyer letter? You guys know what I have a buyer letter is? Yikes campaign, I have a buyer letter. So, can I tell you a funny story? So my wife gets this, I have a buyer. And there's like a letter, and my wife is reading the letter. She goes, what does this mean? I was like, what do you mean, what does this mean? She has a buyer. She's like, well, what does that mean? I said, well, she has a client that wants to buy our home. She's like, say that. I was like, wait, what? So I took the last I have a buyer postcard in our secret farm. I took I have a buyer out, and I said, my client wants to buy your home. Every time we send the card out, we get a call, 100% of the time. We are so stuck in like our own lingo. Well, let's do a buyer strategy consultation. You really think your buyer knows what a buyer strategy consultation is? Hey, the selling side agent is this. We have agents that don't know what a selling side agent is. You really think a consumer knows what a selling side agent is? We just inundate them with so much jargon. We don't talk in their world, and that's why these things break down. Oh, I have a pocket listing. Who knows what a pocket, who knows, what does that even mean, right? We got to get and start talking regular language stuff, and that's why when you start you can test very easily. So I'm going to give you one more last way to test. Can I show you? Can I show you this way? You like that? May I show you? So I'm going to show you something. Hopefully this puppy works. So there is a. You do not have to use this, by the way. I'm just showing you an idea. So this is our. Is the puppy loading up? Okay. So this is our software called KingstonLane.com, and I want to show this to you how this works. So so you see this little box that says generate seller leads. Do you see this? You guys can see the top right box over there. Here's how easy this is. You click launch campaign, and it says I want to spend $100. So you don't have to look at my video. You say $100. It says I want to run a home valuation campaign. So one click, home valuation campaign. It says zip code or postal code. Somebody give me a zip code. 63123. And then I say order, and I'm done. That's it. Could you do something like that? Now you may think, wait. What just happened? How many of you thought, wait, what just happened? So you just said, I want to spend $100. I want to spend it in 63123, go. So what our team does now, because we know that anything else you're going to get overwhelmed with. So our team actually goes, we give you a free home valuation landing page. We build a Facebook ads. We run hundreds of thousands of dollars of Facebook ads a day. We run 4 to 6 day campaigns with your branding to your leads, to your marketplace, and you automatically get all the leads. And inside all the leads, we give you the response scripts built in. I'm not telling you to do this. What I'm suggesting is if you don't do this yourself, what you should do is generally you do a $100 ad, maybe you get 25 leads. 15 of them are address only, 10 of them have email. Go with the idea, right? Now, you have 15 homes to door knock that have already raised their hand. So every 3 weeks you spend $100, you get 15 more homes, and only door knock those homes. So none of them are cold. So over every 3 to 4 weeks you spend $100, you get guaranteed leads, and you only farm those leads. You take all those leads and you put it in your mailing package, and including the corners and the main drags, you mail them to. That's what your farming is. You only farm to people that have already raised their hands. Questions, thoughts around it? Simple maybe? By the way, this is free to log in, so it's going to change very soon, so you may want to get it at some point. You like that sales pitch there? That was good. Okay. Jeff allowed me to do. I just wanted to show you how simple it was, because I realized that it's hard for kind of agents to do that stuff. All right, good. Okay, I want to show you that. I'm going to flip through that. Is that good for geographic farming? Good. Is that helpful? Anybody pick something up that they may consider using? Yes. Give me one thing that you thought you may use. Corner houses, right? super easy. Yeah, but the only thing when you get corner houses, here's what how many of you currently have a corner home listing? If you have a corner home listing, I will tell you right now, you have to put up 2 signs. One-on-one, like you have to. You're totally missing out if you don't put out 2 signs. That's the entire reason why you get this corner lot. Good? Helpful? Okay, awesome. The reason I tell you all this is because anytime I used to go on listing appointments, I talk to the agent. I'm like, hey, who are we going up against? And the agent will say, oh, Jim, Jack, and Johnny. And I'm like, tell me about Jim, tell me about Jack. You like the 3 wise men? Jim, Jack, and John. Come on, guys. Like, we're going to have a happy hour after. Like, you're going to get, anyway, whatever. So, like, oh, Jim's cool, Jack's an out-of-area agent, and Johnny's a local market agent. I'm like, oh, my God. So now we spend like an hour just prepping on Johnny's key points, not Johnny's key points, how to go again. So I know the questions we're going to get asked, so we completely work around that. Good? Awesome? All right. Question? Helpful? Okay, cool. So open houses? Open houses? Who does open houses? Okay, this is my favorite. Tactical scripts. You like scripts? I always tell people I'm not a scripts are not going to help you win, but scripts will help you make sure you don't lose, right? I don't want to take away your humanity from the process. You don't want to sound scripted like a robot, but when in a tight situation, it'll get you out of the tight situation so that you can do your magic. So if you don't believe in scripting, take it from somebody that is me. Crazy story. I had 39 individual one-on-one interviews to get a job at Goldman Sachs. 39 scheduled individual one-on-one interviews. This is not including coffees, dinners, 39 one-on-one interviews to get one job, right? And one of the conversations, it was crazy. This was during the financial crisis. The managing partner comes in, he's really upset, something blew up. Why should I hire you? We go through all of this, and finally he tells me, he pulls out a notebook from his back. He goes, puts it on the table, like, here are all my prospects. And he pushes a phone towards me, like a boiler room. He goes, are you ready to call them and get me some appointments? Now, if I did that to you, what would you say? Some people are like, oh, bring it, baby. And other people are like, what the heck? So weird, right? And so I didn't know anything about financial services, so I was a young kid, and I said, sir, do you have a script that I can call with? I don't know what the heck I'm going to say. Just, do you have a script? You know what he tells me? He puts his book back in his backpack, he grabs his backpack, shakes my hand. He's like, you'll do great. And he just walks out the door. Because he's like, after I talked to him, he's like, everybody did that too, would like pick up the phone, try to be a rock star, come up with their own scripting, they want to innovate on the spot. He's like, dude, just give me a script and I'll call whoever the heck you want. Because all you want is that first conversation, right? So, how many of you do open houses? Open houses? Okay, if you were sleeping and taking a nap, afternoon coffee, all that's totally cool. Can you give me like 3 minutes? So, because I think this will help you. Okay, 3 minutes. First one. The first thing that when someone walks into an open house, just please, if you do this, don't tell me that you do this, just don't do it anymore. Here's what you never do. Hello, ma'am, I'm Sharran. What brings you in today? Like, please don't ever, like, yeah, don't, like, what brings you in today, like, should be eliminated from your vocabulary. Like, I came to your open house. Like, what do you think brings me in today? You know? The first question you ask, and unless you have a better one, the first question you ask is this. Did you see the signs, or did you find us online? Hey, I'm Sharran, welcome. Did you see the signs, or did you find us online? Very simple, right? Why do we ask this? Any suggestions? Why do we ask this? Say again? Sure, you're like, I want to know what's working. Did I put up enough signs? Did they find me online? Like, who is this person? If they say they saw the signs, maybe they live in the neighborhood. So we can so Brian and I can go down this path. Brian, can we role play for a second? Right? So I say, Brian, did you see the signs or did you find us online?
My agent sent me.
Awesome, right? So 99% of the time, so he's trying to throw me a curveball because he's a cool dude, right? But 99, which I can answer 14 ways to Sunday because I'm just too good at this because I've done this for a very long time. But see this. No. So did you see the sign? Whenever you give somebody a sorting, this is called a sorting question. Whenever you give somebody a sorting question, they will generally pick. right? And it's a very easy sorting question. So if they say, oh, I saw the signs, oh, great, do you live in the neighborhood? Like you can go down any path. Oh, you saw the signs. Oh, have you been looking for a while? Which site did you see this on? You can completely go down that path, right? And if the smart aleck walks in and says, oh, my agent sent me, oh, I'm so glad that your agent sent you. Who is your agent and which company do they work with? Who is your agent and which company do they work with? Not who is your agent. Who is your agent and which company do they work with? 99% of consumers cannot answer that, because if they can't answer that, they're not committed to their agent. Correct, 100%, right? So, sorry, am I getting excited and like other people are getting excited with me? I appreciate that. Is this helpful? Okay, second, it's an easy question because you ask this and you can go down any path, right? Next question. You ask this regardless, you ask this every time, it doesn't matter when, you ask this all the time even if you know the answer. Oh, awesome, are you an investor or are you looking for a home to live in? Why are you asking? This is the self-identification question, right? Like you're sorting, and now I'm telling you right now that I am looking for a home to live in. I'm actually going down the path with you. If they're unsure, they're like, oh, actually I invest as well. Now you've uncovered a whole new group that you never thought of before, right? And I love this, I ask this all the time. You can ask this in multiple situations. I'll show you where to ask those. And my last one is this. This is the non-pressure question. I always try to ask this in every single open house. Hey, are you looking to buy a home in the next 3 to 5 years? Why 3 to 5 years? First, ranges are disarming, right? Because they never have to commit. Second, if it's far out enough, they know you're not going to hound them, which is fantastic, right? But if they tell you yes, you know right away they're buying something now, right? And if they say no, that means they're thinking. They're not walking to the open house. If they're a looky-loo, every looky-loo is looking. They're called a looky-loo. They're looking, right? They're looking. So if you ask these 3 questions, you'll instantly start to figure out where they go. These 3 should be your first 3 questions at the open house. Don't give them anything. Don't hand them anything. Can I grab your sheet for a second? While you do this, you're like, and you can hand them the sheet. You can just say while you're talking, since this is a private residence, the insurance policy requires that everybody just sign in. I'm sure that's no problem. I'm sure that's no problem. You don't leave the clipboard and say, please sign in and grab a cookie, which many of us do, by the way. Like, please sign in and grab a cookie on your tour and I'll meet. Are you serious? Like, the entire reason why you're doing the open house is what? To get people to sign in. Like, if I could stand outside the open house and just have people sign in and leave, like, I would rather do that. What is the entire job of the open house? To get people, you actually think that a person that is actually interested in the home is going to come do the open house and not do another private showing? Has it ever happened? Unless it's a super hot market. A real buyer always comes through the second time just to double check and make sure their gut is okay, right? So you have to get them to sign in, otherwise you're doing a disservice to you and to your client. Okay, how many of you believe that you can use these 3 questions effectively going forward? Okay. Anybody use anything else that they like? Help a brother out. Brian.
The question is, have you sold a home just yet?
Really good one. Have you sold your home just yet? What would be the answers that you can get from that? No, not yet. No, not yet. It's on the market. Oh, we're still renting. We just moved here. We're not here yet. It opens up a lot of questions, right? It's better than where you're from. Because if they're going to buy something, have you sold your home? I really like that a lot. That's awesome. Any other questions that you like? Is it good? Helpful? Okay. Awesome. Let's fire through. Let me tell you about a fun open house story. So I was in Chicago, Lakeshore Drive. One of the agents called me in for this appointment. It was $5 million a piece, already being built right now. And amazing foot traffic. Just like perfect for people are going to see this brand new construction. We were one of 4 brokers. We went last. So we show up 4th, which is our good luck. And how many of you like to be first? How many of you like to be first? How many of you like to be last? How many of you don't care you're that good? Okay, whatever. Come on, like you gotta have. How many of you have no opinion on this matter? As long as you get called to the table, I'm like that because as long as I'm in, I'm good, right? So we show up at the appointment, and the client actually tells us this. He says, "Hey, this is a high foot traffic area. what is your open house strategy? Good, right question. I appreciate that, right? So the agent that I was with does a great job. She just walks through and she's like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we do this, we do that. And she went through like a 3-minute, really structured pitch of what they're going to do for open houses. Client looks at me and says, I really appreciate that, but the other 3 agents said something pretty similar to what you just said. I don't mean you said that. I just can't understand which one works and which doesn't. That hurts? How many of you, if I asked you right now, you would tell me, hey, whenever I do an open house, I do these 9 things, these 10 things, these 15 things. Would you could come up with a list of things you do, right? So I was like, okay, engineer, client, builder, developer, everyone has pitched the same kitchen sink to him, so I need to think about something on my feet. So I said, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Client, or so Mr. and Mrs. Developer, what my colleague is trying to say is he wanted to share a lot of the ideas that we do, but what is really important is our 4-1-2 formula for how we dominate open houses. I'm totally making this up live. Right, live, right? And I'm like, I just need what the heck this 4-1-2 means. I'm making it up. But okay, tell you is the system. And the client's like, oh, what is your 4-1-2 formula for doing open houses? And so I say, well, the 4 is what we do 4 days prior. The 1 is what we do on the day of. And the 2 is what we do for the 2 days after. That way we give you a 7-day swell for every open house that we do. I'm still making this up live. Right? Now I have to figure out what we do 4 days prior. So I say, let me walk you through what we do 4 days prior. On the 4-day prior, on day 1, we go to Kingston Lane, we do a Facebook ad, and we make sure that they get good penetration into that community. 3 days prior, we door knock and we door drop in the neighborhood so that the community knows that this is what we do. 2 days prior, we email the brokers and all the buyers that we know that are actively looking. And 1 day prior, we do something very special, which most agents don't do, which actually gets us the best results. And let me tell you what it is. We do the neighbor courtesy. What we do is we walk to every neighbor in the neighborhood, every neighbor right around the home and say, knock, knock, Mr. and Mrs. Neighbor. My name is Sharran. I listed this home, 123 Main Street. You know, it's a beautiful home. It's going live on the market this week. We're having 2 open houses this weekend. It's going to be from 1 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday. This is just a courtesy knock. There may be some foot traffic in this neighborhood. I just want you to know I'm doing everything that I can from a security perspective to make sure this works well. Here's my card. If anything comes up during that time, just call me and I'll make sure to handle it. As opposed to saying, oh, I'm awesome. I just listed at home. Do you want to come and take a private look? That's what people say. That's what people say. That's what some random person who's never ever talked to a neighbor will tell you to go do. Would you rather do that, or would you rather do the courtesy door knock? The courtesy door knock, here's what happens on the courtesy door knock. The neighbor closes the door, walks inside. Honey, did you know the Johnsons listed their home? Oh yeah, how did you know that? Well, this young lady just stopped by. She was as nice as could be. The first time she told me that there's having this open house, and she just said that she was there for us and she was going to take care of it, maybe a little busy, and she just wanted to make sure it was a courtesy knock. How amazing do you think that conversation went? How easy is that to do? I'm making this up live. This is 4 days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do we do for the day of? So I'm drawing this out live with this client, right? So I said the day of, I say we actually, Mr. and Mrs. Client, we do a video before. Because most times we work really hard during the open house. Again, I'm seating. We work really hard during the open house. But we do a video before, and the video before is actually how we want people in the neighborhood to know how we do the video before. Here's the interesting part. Have you guys seen open house videos on Facebook these days? Let me tell you what they look like. Hey, it's Sharran at 123 Main Street. This is amazing. Like, we got this home, and we're going to keep it open. And, like, I'll be here. We got food. We got cookies. You got to come check out the Spanish Colonial. Some version of that without the caffeine, right? Like some version of that, right? What you want to do is you want to follow a format. Can I give you the video format for open houses? Okay, super easy, super easy. Say that this is your open house. Oh, we'll use the mic. Say that your mic is the open house for sale sign. When you put a video on Facebook, you're scrolling, I get like a cool picture, I get a picture of kids, I get like a random ad, and then I get like a big face. Have you ever noticed that? Most of you are really good looking, but your big face is weird on a small screen. Is that fair? right? Especially like mine, right? So you want to warm them up to your big face on the small screen. So this is what you do. You start your Facebook Live on the sign, because as I'm scrolling, you get free branding. You like that? This is what you do. You start on the sign, and you're looking at the sign. You're like, hey, this is Sharran Srivatsaa with USA Real Estate. I'm here at 123 Main Street, and I'll be here from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on a home that just hit the market. Click, flip the camera. Ah, there you are. Totally cool. Be casual. And then you go, I kid you not, movement is really powerful. You move. You move. If you don't move, they're stuck and they're like, wait, what just happened? They transition, blah, blah, blah. You move. And the move is, let me walk you through the move. Heel. No, the average person cannot do this because they've never done this. I'm telling you. The average person is teaching you how to do video and they've never done video. Jeff does video every single day. I'm telling you, this stuff works. By the way, for you folks that you think you have double chin, a little higher. You know that, right? You know that, right? Okay, so just a little, not straight, just a little higher, right? So totally cool. Now you say, there you are. I want to tell, exactly, do not change. I want to tell you the 5 reasons why you should come and see this home today. Not the 5 reasons why you should buy this home, not the 5 reasons why this is cool. What is the job of that video? To get people to come to the open house. I want to give you the 5 reasons why to come and see the home today. Come with me. Now take them on the tour. Just take them on the tour. Hey, this is the barn door, this is this. Just take them on the tour because now you've already gotten permission. I'm saying, hey, my cell phone number is up top if you want to schedule a private showing. That is your only call to action. Do not say, hey, just message me anytime at 314-955. If the next time I see any of you do a phone number on a video, I will fly here and I will beat you with a banana. This is insane. You really think they're going to stop and hit pause and write your phone number down? Are you serious? Just say, my phone number is, just send me a text for a private showing. That's it, right? Start on the sign, click, flip, there you are. Right? You got that little semi-Michael Jackson move, right? And then do the little higher and take them on the tour. That's how you do the open house tour. Good? Easy? All about the hook and then the intro and then you do the story around. Come, come, come. Have you ever seen videos where they do the come, come, come? You want to be part of this. The other thing is also when you do the warm-up, it warms up your voice. It warms up, and you're like, I got to start that over. No, you don't have to. It's warmed up your voice, and you can stay on there as long as you want. You can feel a little clumsy, and it's totally okay. And in the middle of the thing, it's not as soon as you get your face, you're not fixing your hair or any of that stuff. It's totally fine. Good? The struggle is real. You guys totally know what I'm talking about. The struggle is real. I love it. What would be even more powerful is if you had a friend or a colleague or a teammate. The teammate would just say, come on up. Get all the pretty women, stand right here, right? The teammate will just say, so I will sign, and you're just talking, right? And you stay right there. You stay right there. You say, hey, hey, I'm Jay with with this realty group. I'm here on 123 Main. I'm still pointing at the sign, and then your teammate flips to Shay. Hey, there you are. And then you say, hey, I want to give you the 5 reasons why. And then you say, go ahead, come with me. Come with me. And then you just go do the tour, and I'm just following you. The other way to do it is to have the teammate do it. That way you don't have to flex your bicep while you do it.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Does that make sense though? It's super easy, but don't overcomplicate this stuff. It's the same thing. You have to know your 5 before you actually start. Otherwise, you're going to struggle through this entire process, right? And do the 5 in the order. Walk through the house and be like, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. Awesome. Just do the tour in that order, and then you say, text me for a private showing. That's it. Good? Neighbor courtesy, video before, video after. Here's what I would do with that video. I would totally, if you did it live on Facebook, which would be cool, I would totally hit $5 and boost it into the zip code. You guys know, you hit the blue button, which is boost, and don't overthink the stuff. Blue button, boost, because then if you get 3,000 views, then you can actually take a screenshot and send it to your client saying, I got 3,000 views on my video, right? You can totally do that. The other thing you should do is in the comments, you should tag your client, and then you should send a text to your client saying, hey, I tagged you on a video, can you hit share? Getting your clients to share the video is actually very good. Okay, good, helpful. So then I tell these developers, hey, we do the video before. I actually shoot a video for the after right away. How many of you, don't lie to me, how many of you call everybody that registered in your open house, contact them within the first 24 hours? Okay, So half of the room. Totally cool. That's normally what it is. How many of you actually do it within 3 hours of the open house ending? How many of you would do it within 3 hours of the open house ending if it was really easy? So here's what I say. Record the video of what you're going to send in a generic way before the open house. So here's what you would do. You'd stand behind the most, either by your sign, or the most noteworthy feature of the home, the red barn door or whatever, right? Hey, Sharran, Srivatsaa, I'm excited for you to stop by. Thank you for stopping by the 123 Main Street. You cannot forget this home on your tour. You remember this red barn door. Hey, I just wanted to follow up. I'm doing 4 private showings this week before our clients are going to receive offers, and it's on Tuesday and Thursday. Would you like to schedule that now? Just give me a quick message below. Stop. Copy, paste, send that to everybody. Do not change anything. That way, when the thing is done, you sit in your car, you look at your registry, copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send. Don't change anything, because them getting that video from you within 2-3 hours of them not being there is actually the biggest win, because Monday morning, it's carpool, it's school time, it's all of that. They have forgotten. Could you do that? Okay, so I was like, that's what we do. And then I was like, how do I come up with what we do 2 days after? 2 days after, hey, we handle all inquiries within the first 24 hours. We go and we make sure the agents in our office know exactly that we did the open house and what the results were. And then, sir, you baseball cap backwards, I don't know you said something really cool. Agents would have done sales in the neighborhood. We actually go to those agents and remind them that the deal actually, that we had a cool deal for them. And this is the 7 things that we do to create groundswell in our 4-1-2 open house formula. Would you all agree that you do most of these anyway? So now all you have to do is come up with your own 412 or 317 or 816 or 333, whatever formula, and now you just explain that to the client. Would you agree that in every listing appointment people talk about open houses? You have to, you end up talking about it, you might as well have an amazing presentation of it. I would actually put this out, and I was like, this is our formula. And I just walk them through it, make it as simple as possible. The developer told us the number 1 reason why he hired us was because of our 412 open house formula that I made up on the spot. I really hope the developer does not see this video, but do you see what I mean though? It's like you take whatever you're doing and put it into a system, and you can do a lot more with that system. Cool? Helpful? Okay, I got 2 more. How many of you know this movie? Which movie? Glengarry Glen Ross. What does it say on the board? Always be closing. I really have a big problem with that, because that forces us to be like this narcissistic salesperson, right? We're not. What are we? We're advisors. Our job is to do what? Our job is not to close. Our job is to activate buyers and sellers so that we can actually get them to the process. So it's ABA, always be activating. I'm going to give you 3 scripts that activate buyers and sellers right now. 3 scripts. How many of you have a phone number somewhere that is just a phone number and it says Bob, and you don't know who it is? I guarantee you do. Do not lie. Do not lie. Okay, so here's the easiest text message to them. It's called the Curious George script. Hi, is this George? It's the Curious George script. Super easy. Hi, is this George? Right? It doesn't matter what the answer, right? 99.9% of the time it's going to be yes. Who is this, right? You don't even say who it is. You go into, are you still interested in buying a home in St. Louis? If you took all your dead leads right now from your open houses, everybody, and you, like right now, and you did this today, you take 10 dead leads from, how many of you have open house registries from the last 2 years that are just lying around, right? Are you still interested in buying a home, sir, in St. Louis? Copy, paste, send to 10 people. I guarantee your phone will light up like a Christmas tree. I guarantee you. Because people cannot help but have to answer that question. It's weird. It's totally weird. So you can say, hey, this is Sharran. I met you on the open house in 123 Main Street. Next text, are you still interested in buying a home in St. Louis? Then they'll give you, the answers you're going to get is, oh, we actually just bought 3 months ago. And I guarantee you that will happen too. Right? It's called a hand raise script. You want to see what they actually do. So the first one is, hi, is this George? The second one is, are you still interested in buying a home? And third one, you've seen this before, are you an investor looking for a home to live in? This is how you act. Anybody that has dead email addresses, that has dead phone numbers, this is what I do. By the way, if you have email and no phone number, you can do the same thing. Would you like me to tell you how? you like me to tell you how? Yes. Okay. Email, subject line. It would be amazing if you had a name and an email address. Normally from the email address you can pick out a name. So like I'm just going to assume you have a name. Subject line is always their first name, Bob, and it's the same script in the email and your signature block. Don't say, I met you here, I met you there, nothing. Subject line, Sharran, are you still interested in buying a home in St. Louis, ? Send. That's it. Because when I'm scanning my email and I see my name, do you think I'm going to open it? 100% I'm going to open it. Right? So that's what you do for email, and for text you just text. Good? How many of you may use something like this? I will tell you right now, please commit to me if you have dead open house registries, sheets that you have not talked to in a while. I'm not joking. Just take one, just one. When you get home tonight, it doesn't matter what time, 9 o'clock, are you still interested in buying a home in St. Louis? ? You just copy paste send to like 15 people. I guarantee you you'll get responses. Guarantee you. And I'd say for every 15 you'll probably set one appointment just by copy paste send. Pretty cool, right? Okay, keep going. Anybody? I have like maybe 5 more minutes and then we'll take a break. Is that cool? Okay, 5 more minutes. I want to talk to you about the velvet rope system. So, what is the number one? Anybody do email marketing? Send emails to clients? 4 people? Yeah. 7 people? If you do email marketing, please raise your hands. Thank you. Totally like messing with me here. Okay, so what are the common things that we as agents send to clients? What did you say, John? That's funny. Please don't. Recipes are fine, but I'll share the verdict later over alcohol on that one. Most common things that we send our clients with email marketing. Just listed, just sold, market update, and if you have some kind of IDX system, you do some kind of MLS e-alert type thing. Most common things that are sent. I'm going to say market update / newsletter. Right? Would you agree that these are mostly sent? I'm going to tie my shoelace for a second. So the average consumer knows how many agents? Okay, 3 or 4, right? And they get 10 of these a week. Just listed, just sold, market update, maybe a drip. That is only from agents. The average consumer considering homes are also subscribed to, primarily, just so you know, Redfin alerts are the most popular of all portal alerts. My wife, we're in the real estate business, she subscribes to Redfin alerts. Prettiest emails ever is what she says. Whatever, right? Redfin alerts, and they generally have Redfin alerts. They probably have some kind of Zillow alert. That's in addition to everything else. And then some random drip that some random person put them on. So on average, they're getting what? 10 to 15 just listed, just sold, market update newsletters. Would you agree? Would you agree that's noise? I want to offer you a very simple method that you can put in place today that will completely change how your clients perceive you for the rest of your careers. And it is actually easier than sending out just listed, just sold, and market updates. Who's skeptical? A little skeptical, maybe? Okay. I want to call it the VIP list, but I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. So here's how the VIP list works. So the problem with sending out recipes, summer drinks, concerts in the park, Santa showings, and all of that, it's totally cool, but here's what happens. Does your attorney send that out? No, because they're your advisor. Does your accountant send that out? No, because the reason we send that out is because we don't know what else to send out. That's the point. The attorneys and the accountants are like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, therefore I'm going to send out stuff that is in line with who I am and what I do. Why don't we send out stuff that is in line with who we are and what we do? We do. That's why we send out just listed, just sold market updates. That's because we think that's in line. But the problem is, they know what is listed and sold and the market update. They generally know the value of their home. They generally know what we're sending them. Would you agree? That's why that's not relevant. Now, how can we send them something that is still relevant to them for real estate, but also makes you look like a rock star? I'm going to offer something to you. It's called the deal of the week, and it's as simple as that sounds. Okay? It's your VIP list deal of the week. So about 2 years ago, one of my friends in Chicago, his name is Young. Young comes up to me and says, hey, I want to change my business model. I have 300 people in my sphere. I'm going to reduce my spending on these portals because they're not converting as well. What advice do you have? I said, dude, listen, very simple. Put all your clients on a weekly deal of the week VIP list. And he's like, dude, like, how am I supposed to do that? And I go, no email marketing, no system, nothing. Put all of them in BCC. Don't overcomplicate this. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So here's what his VIP list looks like. For 2 years. Here's his email. You're going to think this is crazy, by the way. It's from to, subject line is VIP deal of the week. He sends it every Wednesday evening. This is all it is. The deal of the week this week is this. Here's a picture. This can be a pocket, a coming soon, something that he scrubbed from the MLS, the best deal that he's found for an investor. He keeps rotating it every week. It doesn't have to be his listing. Maximum 4 to 5 bullet points around it. And then he says, if you would like to buy, sell, or invest in the next 3 years, please send it to anybody that would benefit from this. That's it. So he starts this newsletter 2 years ago. Last year, he sent something out, and I bought something. I sent it to him, and I bought the deal that he put on the list. So he texts me, he's like, bro. And I'm like, what? I'm like, is this real? He's like, yeah. And I go, well, can I buy it? He goes, sure. I'm like, I don't want to know, where's Liz? I'm like, I don't want to know where it is. I don't want to know the address. If the numbers pencil, like, this is great. Send me the contract, right? He's like, this is amazing. You're the 8th deal I've done. He just sends this weekly. And after the 3rd email that he sent, the first thing he got was just a lease listing. He's like, oh, I didn't know you do leases. And then he's like, oh, do you have more investment property? Oh, yeah, we have this, we have that. Oh, and I'm trying to buy something in. So he referred a deal. He's just sending out one deal every week. One deal. Scrubbing the MLS takes him 10 minutes. Not overthinking it. Picture, 4 bullet points. And this goes every week. And the idea is that his clients cannot get this information anywhere else because he's curated it for them. Good? Helpful? Now, a lot of you are thinking about, how am I going to actually implement this? Is that thought in your mind, sort of? So we have, I want to show you something very quickly. So one of the programs that we have in our company, I'm actually going to give you the answer here. One of the programs we have in our company is we believe that most agents are hustling and grinding a lot. How many of you believe that you guys are hustling and grinding almost 7 days a week? Do not lie to me. Give me hands up higher. Okay. Do you believe that when you move from hustle and grind to systems and scale, it completely changes the way you run your business? You get more systematic way of running your business. So we have this program which we run, and every 30 days, we build one new system, and we build the whole thing, and we hand it to our agents in our program. So I'll give you an example. This month in February, we're actually building this VIP list system. So here's how it works. I want to draw it for you so you understand it. So there's a website that we build. We build all of this, right? There's a website that we build. It's got a beautiful branding picture of, I'm going to call it Jeff, right? And then it says, welcome to my VIP list, all my private deals only. Here's what you get. One email a week, blah, blah, blah. No obligation. And then there's a box that says, sign up here. Good? Just conceptually, you guys are good? And this is so we give him this website. And then when someone comes here and they fill out this email, they go to a page that says, say a video or something that says, thank you from Jeff, and it says, thank you for signing up, and here's an example of the deal of the week. So that way they know what they're getting. Good? As soon as this happens, they get 3 emails that says, hey, you're confirmed for the VIP list. It starts coming on Wednesday. Here's what the first one's going to look like. Hey, by the way, I did a video on this and how a client actually got an amazing deal from this. So they get 3 emails in 3 days. Okay, good so far? And then what we give our agents is a template on an email marketing software that all they do is they drag a picture in, the bullet points are here, it's already hooked up to this list, and they click send. And they have to do this once a week. You have to do some work, right? But they have to do this once a week. We build all of this, and we just hand it to the agent. Now, the agent gets jeffviplist.com, right? And he points it to this site. right? Next time he goes live, he goes on the open house, whatever, he's like, hey, I'm on the 123. By the way, if you want to schedule an appointment with me, here's my text message. Or if you want to jump on my VIP list where I share my best deal every week with my private clients, go to jeffviplist.com. Puts this everywhere. Random person sees it online, random person signs up, random person gets in the list, random person gets a thank you, they get the 3 email sequence. Jeff has no idea. Every Wednesday, Jeff just writes 1 email. Would this be a cool system that you would like in your business, right? So I'm not selling you anything. I'm just telling you that our goal, like for our agents, is every month we want to build them one system, and we just hand it to them, because if you build more systems, you win more. Can you imagine after this, all you had to do was 10 minutes, write 1 email a week, and people just get into your VIP list? Would that be pretty cool? Would that be pretty cool? If you have 300 people in your VIP list, 300 people, I kid you not, if you have 300 people in your VIP list and you email them once a week for 52 weeks, I guarantee you, you never have to do cold prospecting ever again. You actually think, my friend Young in Chicago, he only does coffee meetings and sends 1 email a week to his VIP list. That's it. But what he does is something pretty cool. He adds 1 new person to his list every day. That's his job. He wakes up in the morning and he says, my job is to talk to somebody, talk to a lead, talk to a past client, talk to a sphere, talk to somebody that wants to be in my list. And the qualification is this. Hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the next 3 years, you should be on my private VIP list. So there's a qualification there. He gets them on the list. Once a week, he sends them a deal. And then once a month, he sends them a success story. That's it. That is his entire marketing. If you add 1 person to your list every day, 3 years later, you have 600 people on your list. How amazing is that? Your list in a tough time, your list in a good time, you touching them with the right cadence is what's going to win. If you think, oh my gosh, I don't know what to put on this, I don't know what deal to make, I don't know what, you're missing the point. You could put like garbage in here, it doesn't matter, like not garbage, but you could put whatever. You go to an office meeting and someone says, hey, here's a pocket. Look, you put the pocket up there. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just that they should not be able to get access to it otherwise. Right? Cool? Awesome? Hey, take a picture of this. Just take a second. If you want information on that program that I was talking about, what I offered to Jeff is that it's by invitation only. And what I would do is, if anyone was interested in that, I would do a 30-minute free strategy session with you, one-on-one, to see if that was the right fit for you. Okay? Is that cool? That was my promise to Jeff. So you can go to 30daysystems.com. It has my name on it. Just click, and you can actually book a calendar appointment. I set it up just for you guys. Cool? I'm not giving 30-minute consultation to anybody, right? It's my promise to Jeff, so I wanted to make sure that it was good for you guys. Good? No pressure? I'm gonna move on. All right, last one. You guys ready? How many of you have heard the hour of power? How many have heard the words the hour of power? Okay, what happens during the hour of power, Peyton?
You are trying to be as productive as possible, calling people.
So good. Peyton says you're going to be trying to be as productive as possible for an entire hour, and you're going to do 1 hour of lead follow-up. Right? How many of you do 1 hour of lead follow-up every day? 2 people. 2.5 people. Would you agree that 1 hour of lead follow-up every single day jamming the phones is freaking boring? Come on. You give me a smile or something. I got like 1 minute left. Okay? I want to offer you a new method where I don't believe that an hour of lead follow-up is humanly possible for high-energy salespeople. Like, you guys are not wired to do an hour of lead follow-up. It is not in your DNA to do it. And for the people that is in their DNA, like, you are very special. It's like, it's hard to do that. Would you agree it's hard to do an hour of, how boring is an hour of lead follow-up? Are you joking? And then you get rejected all the time and you get voicemail and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's calling again. It's terrible. So I want to give you a different lead hour of power format that I've been teaching a lot of the top agents that I've been working with. Are you guys ready for it? You take your hour and you break it up into 4 parts. The first 15 minutes is your entire job is to get as many coffee meetings as possible. Because the more coffee meetings you get, the better you do. I'm going to give you the script for the coffee meeting. Are you ready? It's like, it's past client, sphere, lead, whatever. But do not innovate on the script. Keep it as simple as possible. And you say, Peyton, it's been a while since I've seen you. I'd love to catch up. I'm happy to come to a Starbucks near you. Send. I'll do it again. Peyton, it's been a while since I've seen you. I'd love to catch up. I'm happy to come to a Starbucks near you. Only if Peyton is a jerk does he say no to that. Because there is no out. Peyton, it's been a while since I've seen you. Aw, I'd love to catch up. Nice dude. I'm happy to come to a Starbucks near you. He's going to make it easy for me too? Now, the only thing he can do is, no problem, let's do it in March. You're like, done. March 18th, pick 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. Done, it's on the calendar. If you start your success, if you start loading up your meeting with your schedule with coffee meetings, I tell you, your business is going to go through the roof, because the only reason you're not going to convert is you're not asking the right questions in the coffee meeting, and I can help you with that. But you're already getting appointments, right? It's amazing. So the first 15 minutes, and don't do it for longer. 15 minutes, get 1 or 2 or 3 coffee meetings. If you get nothing, that's fine. First 15 minutes, get coffee meeting. How many of you believe that's easy enough to do? Peyton, it's been a while since I've seen you. I'd love to catch up. I'm happy to come to a Starbucks near you. Do not change. Because if you innovate, you're going to put more stuff in. Oh my gosh, how are the kids? No, we don't care about any of that. We just want a coffee meeting. Right? You can talk about the kids at the coffee meeting. Okay, good? The second one, I'm sorry, you have to do like some follow-up. Not an hour, but hey, whoever came to open houses, do some responses. Whoever inquired on your listing, do some responses. Whatever you said in your listing appointment, do some follow-up. 15 minutes, I'm asking for 15 minutes of follow-up per day. Is it okay? Can you give me and yourself permission that it's okay to do 15 minutes of follow-up per day? Okay. Number 3. I'm going to call it the sphere of influence deep dive. How many of you believe that a lot of your business comes from your past clients and your sphere? Okay, awesome. Close to 50% of the room. I want you to, so let's assume that Jeff is in your sphere. Here's what you would do. You would kick your feet up on your desk or your couch or where you're working from, and today's person of focus is Jeff. And you're like, Fitzer, what does Jeff like that I can add value to his life with? I'm going to go on Jeff's social feed. I'm going to look at Jeff's emails. I'm going to see what he just posted about. Jeff loves video. Jeff loves this. Jeff loves running. Oh, he loves running. Oh, I saw this really cool running shirt called Run STL on Amazon. I should get Jeff that shirt. Go, get Jeff that shirt, ship it to him on Amazon, write him a note. You're done. Because now you've taken 15 minutes to think about one person, one. And you've either sent them a great article, you sent them a nice note, a handwritten note, bought them a gift, sent them a book, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the problem is, we want to do this whole client appreciation party, get our entire clients and our past clients together once a year, and you think they actually think of you. Instead, think of the one person, add the value to them that one day for 15 minutes, and move on to the next person. How amazing it is when you get that thoughtful note, gift, handwritten card, whatever. For one person a day. Do you think if someone did that to you, you could actually tell the thoughtfulness associated with it? Yes? Okay, that's number 3 for 15 minutes. And number 4, I call this social love. How many of you are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like any of those? Any of those? All of you, right? So I got like a half shake. What's going on with the half shake? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so you get on social media. Let's say I'm your friend, a past client sphere. You see I posted something and say, hey, I just went to Bali with my children. This was amazing. Here are some pictures. And then in the comments, this is what we generally see. Like, heart, cool, amazing, awesome, how fun, wish I was there. Is that fair? That's what you see, right? Here's what you do. Stop, go into the comments and write 3 sentences. Social love. Hey Jeff, the vacation looked amazing. I've never been to Bali, but I've always wanted to go. Instead of Bali, we may be going to Hawaii this year. Have you ever been? Looks great, family's growing up. It's been a while since we've caught up. I'm happy to come to a Starbucks near you. You can do it. The entire idea is to get more coffee meetings. You don't have to do that live, but you can do that. But here, if I did 3 sentences inside my social love, do you think Jeff is actually going to read it? Like heart, whoa, Sharran. And he just reads the whole thing. And then he feels compelled to either respond or say something, and he doesn't know what to do. So he either texts you or whatever, and now you've reconnected. So easy. And you just sit there on your phone for 15 minutes and goof off and write few sentences. Like, I'm not joking. We cannot do an hour of lead follow-up. How many of you believe that this is way easier? Right? Way easier. How many of you have teams? Teams? Like, you should make your team, like, they have to do all of it, like an hour. You're like, not broken up into 4 15-minute blocks. Like, in 1 hour, sit down, do this, and you're done. So easy, right? I tell you, just starting to do this will get you in the mode of doing more business development. Sometimes your coffee meetings, but you'll be like, whoa, I suddenly have 7 coffee meetings on the calendar that I never had before because I dedicated time to getting them. Small things will help your business grow a lot. All right. So we talked about, oh, cool pointer. Pre-launch, geographic farming, open house domination, velvet rope system, Hour Power, 20 days a week, 20 days a month. Make sense? You know there's like some method to this madness, right? I want to show you something very quickly. So here's what I did. I want to give you guys a quick gift. I did 100. I went through the. I do a lot of podcasts. I went through my last 100 real estate podcasts that I've done, and I picked out 17 of my best ideas, my best profitable ideas, so that you don't have to listen to 100 podcasts. And I put them all into one email. And you can get them at. So take a picture of this. You can get them at this site for free, of course. 17podcastsecrets.com. So just go. I took all my 100 podcasts. I put it in bullet points. And you can go download them and use them, and I have links to each of the podcasts if you wanted. It took me all of the holidays to do that, and my wife thought I was crazy because I re-listened to 100 podcasts. I'm crazy. Please take advantage of all the time I put in so that you can just read the bullet points instead of having to listen to 100 podcasts. Okay? Was it somewhat valuable? Yes. Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot for maybe a minute, Jeff, and then I'll turn it over to you. 5 people, so I have a fragile ego, just like you all know. 5 people can just tell me, hey, either a question or, hey, I like that idea, I'm going to use that, or anything else that you thought was exciting or entertaining. Give me 5, and then we'll take a quick break. Who wants to share? Sir.
I personally like, for the listing meeting, breaking down the open house, because half the agents I hear from clients say, it doesn't sell houses.
Yeah.
But with this, it kind of makes it concrete to them that you're working for them truly.
Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. 412 formula. And put in whatever you want in the boxes. But you have a way to explain the system. Very cool. Thank you. Who else? Ma'am.
So on your ultimate, your for the deal of the week.
Yeah.
So you pull something out of MLS, you put it on. Say we've done a preview of it.
Uh-huh.
Install that. What's keeping the other agent that has that listing from coming down on you if they see that you're using it?
Yeah, just say, if you believe that it needs to, it's the deal of the week, and you say, you can put it way in the bottom that says this is listed by someone else at Coldwell Banker if you want, but you're promoting someone else's listing. It's total.
Exactly.
It's
I'm just curious how you do that because I thought of the promoting it.
Yeah, so if you want to.
How some agents are.
Yeah, and if you feel like an agent's you're gonna hot water in it, just say, hey, and here's the Zillow link to the property.
True.
And someone says anything, you'll be like, oh, here's the MLS link to the property. Whatever, right? Like, I prefer you say Zillow link to the property because, or if it's your website, it's even better if you have an IDX because it buries their name at the bottom. If you're worried about that, I would just I like doing more more off-market stuff as much as possible because that's just stuff that we'll never have access to, or investment property stuff. And most agents that list investment property stuff, they don't care, they just want to get it sold. So if you feel like you may get in hot water, just put the link. Yeah, good question. All right, 3 more.
Spending the first third of the listing appointment on coming soon.
Yeah, so just spending a little bit more time on the coming soon, right? Just, yeah.
Communicate all the value.
Okay. So the best part about coming soon is this. They're not expecting a lot of you to talk about the coming soon, so you're going to get very few pieces of pushback. Very few objections during that time. So it's a complete education time, which is way cool. As soon as you start talking about pricing and marketing, you're going to get pushback. Anytime you talk about pricing, is there any time that you don't get pushback? You always get pushback. I want to keep 90% of the appointment where I control a whole appointment, so I get no pushback. And we'll do some, in the next part, we'll do some objection role play just so get you guys comfortable with it too. Cool, so coming soon. 2 more, ma'am. Okay, good, awesome. And if there's a main drag though in the neighborhood, totally dial the main drag in because every time someone drives by there, it's really powerful. Like corners are my favorite. Awesome, awesome. All right, one more. Sarah.
I love the example you used about your wife and her saying, my client wants to buy your home versus we have a buyer.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we complicate things to really, justify it in our heads. So I just, looking at it from the consumer's perspective, it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, cool, awesome, very cool. And if anybody is doing I have a buyer letter, just change it to my client wants to buy your home. Also, I like using client because that shows that you're in representation in some way and you're a professional, right? Use client all the time. The other word, I'm just going to do the one last thing here. How many of you are like, oh, I can't believe that Sharran didn't use me on this transaction? Like you've said that before. The operative word there is use. You're not a commodity. Like, could you please help me catch yourself and never use the word use ever again? No one uses you to buy a home. Nobody, you are not a doormat, right? Of course they're going to grind commission down. No one uses you. You really want to be used? The limits of our language are the limits of our world. You got to use language well to help people actually get inspired, right? He's like, my client, I represent client, represent client, represent client. Very, very, very important, right? And the reason this happened is I was driving with an investor. I was in the back seat. Investor, agent in the front seat. I was in the back seat. And the agent says, oh yeah, I sold that home. And the client's like, no, you didn't sell that home. I bought it. You didn't sell it, right? Like, but we think that we can use the terminology. You didn't sell it. You didn't own it in the first place. You were a fiduciary representative. Say it. We play an amazingly important role in this industry. Let's own that, right? Super, super important. So can I at least get a commitment that you will not use the word use? Yes. Cool. And if you use the word use, like catch yourself and like don't use it again. Cool? Awesome. So, hey, I appreciate you guys. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. We're going to do a quick break. And then we're going to do something pretty cool, which is stuff that you've never seen before. It's called a hot seat. And the hot seat is, I'm in a lot of mastermind groups, and you really do not want to know how much I pay for these, right? Where it's like 8 CEOs sitting in a room. I walk up, I explain my problem on the board, and like 7 high-powered CEOs basically dress me down and build me back up. It is like the most gratifying yet painful thing that can ever happen. The closed CEO, top agents that I mentor, I do hot seats with them all the time, and I rarely do it in public, right? Today, we got a couple of very brave volunteers, and I promise to be very loving to Sarah here. I want you to see something. I want you to see, and Jeff's brother's going to do it too, right? I want you to see how to actually break a business down and how to actually create momentum so that she can go crush it later. So that you can be like, oh my gosh, this is how you actually do it. And this comes from an operator. I run the business. I know how to do it, right? You will find me. I have no idea. I met her today. So I'm going to do this cold, and you're going to see 2 hot seats, and you're going to see how to actually do it live, and you can do it for yourself. If you have team members, you can do it with them. But I want to show you live how this stuff works. Let me frame this for you. You're going to say, he's asking some really basic questions. Then when Sarah comes up, you're like, Sharran has the same questions over and over again. He wants the same 4 numbers. This is really mechanical. This is boring. Like, when we get our foundations right, we can do a lot of cool things, right? And how I want you to think about it is, you should be able to do this live for your business. If you are a team leader, mentor to others, you should be able to do live for them as well. The hardest part about deconstructing somebody's business, it takes 2 things. Number 1, the person needs to be and share, right? I will tell you, 9 out of 10, I'm not joking, 9 out of 10 business transformations lie in the personal realm. It's got nothing to do with the tactic that I'm going to be able to give you. 9 out of 10. And I'll tell you, most of the time it takes me 2, 3, 4 times to get the personal transformation, and sometimes it happens fast. The second is you always want a foundation. I'll walk you through that foundation today. Good? You guys ready? Okay, thanks for doing this, man. Pleasure. So give everybody kind of like, tell them who you are, what market you work in.
Sure. Nathan Pitzer. I have a small team out of the Keller Williams Southwest and Sunset Hills. I have an executive assistant and a buyer's agent. I was a single agent up until last December or so.
Hey, can you jump over here?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks.
And I've been licensed for 4 of those years.
Have you guys ever seen like IS and that like if you see their boards, they just put pictures, they connect dots, do things like that. Not crazy. It's not. They actually do that live if you go to armed forces, et cetera. They do that live. So it's a very good media board. And so when you're thinking about stuff, you always think on paper, right? So as Nate's talking, I'm going to be like, okay, been in the business. So here's how I would ask you: how long you been in the business?
12 years licensed, 4 years full time.
So 12 years. You have an assistant right now.
Correct.
Okay, full-time?
Yes.
Full-time assistant. And what does he or she help with?
Back office stuff, marketing, and transactions.
So ops, TC, marketing. Okay. Other agents on the team?
Buyer's agent.
One buyer's agent.
Correct.
And does this agent get to do listings as well?
Not yet.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a geographic farm?
Yes and no. Yes, that we do farm it, but not as much as we should.
Okay, kind of. No, so it's just.
I mean, Cardinals and Blues schedules, and that's about it.
Okay, good. So total number of homes?
300,
Average sales price?
275.
Do you know turnover numbers?
It's less than 8%. That's why I'm kind of reluctant to inject so much money into it.
Okay, good. That's fine. Okay, good. So, good so far. You guys are good. So now you're getting a sense of his business. So here's what we're going to do now. 2018, 2019, right? This discovery process is super powerful. First thing I'm going to say is, hey, how many deals did you do in 2018?
43.
43 deals. List versus buy?
It's about 60-40%.
60-40, okay. Volume?
About 9.
9 million. GCI?
GCI was just about even 300.
Okay. Good. Always know where you're starting. Very hard to pick where you want to go there. Okay. 2019, give me some goals.
75 units, 15 million. 55-45 as far as sell to buy.
Okay.
And it's 7 closings a month.
Okay. And
GCI is, I think it's 500.
okay. Guys good? Super. How many of you are like, now if could every single person in this room actually tell me and come up with exactly this? Most people don't know their numbers. And I'm telling you, it's okay, but can we give Nate a round of applause for just being able to walk through this stuff? Right. It's amazing to me. You can't do anything without this. Like in 3 minutes, I understand his business right away. Okay? So the first thing I always want to do is to say, hey, so how are you going to go from, and you'll think this is a Socratic method. I'm not like telling him what to do. He already has all the answers. I want to see where his answers are so I can give him one shift. My entire idea today is to give him one shift, right? To get to buy speed. It's always good as the coach, as the mentor, to know what shift you're bringing that person. My one shift that I want to bring, and I'm stating my intention, is to give him one shift so he can buy speed to get more certainty to get to 75 deals. Good? You guys should all be thinking the exact same way. How can I give Nate one shift? And I'll tell you, we're going to have 150 opinions in the room, and that's totally okay. I have to figure out the right time to give him the one shift so he's actually open and accepting it. Cool? Helpful? Okay. How are we going to get from 43 to 75?
Well, the gap for me is by adding the buyer specialist who on average closed about 14, 15 deals the last 2 years by himself.
Yeah.
If that's his average, now we're at 58. And then now we have a gap of, what's that, 18 left. So by plugging in him into my systems in terms of trying to open up a new cog for business, because those expires primarily. And if we hit our contacts, which is a minimum of 10 per day, we should be able to do that.
Okay, this is really good. He got to the right part of the end. It's very easy when we want to grow a business that we start to add channels. Hey, I do geographic farming, for example. I'm going to add FSBOs, I'm going to add expireds. We instantly go to adding new channels. Remember this, adding new channels is there's a skill set increase that's necessary, and there's a cost increase that's necessary, and there's time. You can't just add a FSBO channel tomorrow because you're going to have to work things out. It'll take time, right? We want to get to 75 with clarity and with speed, right? Okay, this is good. So the first question I would ask is, do you have enough leads or opportunities to work with right now? So if I got you 2 more buyer's agents, do you have enough opportunities to keep them busy?
I don't have enough leads to give them right now. I do have enough systems, though, to give them to create their own business.
Okay.
They choose to do so.
Good. So now think about it. our business has three parts to the puzzle. You got to have opportunity. I don't like calling it leads because leads have baggage in today's marketplace, right? So you've got opportunities. It could be from open houses. It could be from Zillow. It could be from whatever. You're going to shove those opportunities into a system. The system will nurture whatever, and then that's going to spit out contracts, and then hopefully that contracts give it referrals and opportunities. Good? Opportunities, some kind of nurture, contracts. We do a good job. Spit out more opportunities. The first thing is to always figure out is if he has enough opportunities and whether he has a human capital problem. What he doesn't have a human capital problem. What problem does he have? An opportunities problem, the total number of opportunities. So now he can get 3 new agents on board, but they don't have enough opportunities to work, right? So that I would actually, the first thing that I would offer is how can we add more opportunities to your pipeline, right? So how many active listings are you carrying right now?
5.
Okay. Can you double up on open houses? Can you do Saturdays, Sundays? Can you do multiple days, or is it not as easy?
Not quite as easy. We could increase our open houses on our listings, yes.
Okay. So think about this. See where I'm going with that? And this is interesting. I'm telling you how I'm thinking so you can think similarly, right? The first thing I'm doing is saying, what existing assets does he have in his business that I can actually create more opportunities from the opportunities that he already has. So I'm not saying, hey, you need to go buy leads right now. That was the first thing that most people will tell you. I don't want to do that. I want to see what he already has, right? Okay, so first thing you say is, hey, okay, open houses, I can't do much. Good, totally okay. Second thing, past clients sphere. How big?
My sphere is about 900, of which I communicate with probably about 400.
Okay.
3 to 4 times a year over the phone.
So I'm going to say 400. So I'll tell you, do you believe that there's an opportunity here? Okay, easiest opportunity right now, you would start the VIP deal of the week list. Right. No brainer, easy to do, 1 email, it'll start creating opportunities for you, right? I would turn those on right away. So let's actually start to erase. You guys good? You guys good with how we're doing this? Is this helpful? Okay.
Grace, got that?
So this is good. So you always do actions, right? So the first action is 1, he's going to take his SOI and start doing the VIP list. And I always like to say this is 0 cost, right? 2, so we've talked about the SOI. Where are you generating opportunities right now? Where are your leads coming from, opportunities coming from?
85% of my business is SOI, past clients.
Okay.
Part of our routine is the alphabetical call list. So we'll hit that and also mix in FSBOs and expireds as well to create new immediate opportunity. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, this is good. So you're already working FSBOs and expireds?
Right.
Okay, this is good. So you have systems for the FSBOs and expired? Right. Awesome. So Sharran, the agent, comes in. You can actually teach me and ramp me up to work.
Yes.
So if you got an agent who is willing to do opportunities from the systems that you already have.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is good, right? He has go with the idea, whatever this is. He has a FSBO system. He's saying, hey, Sharran, if you show up in my business tomorrow, I can tell you exactly what to do, the formula, and that will create opportunities. I'll come on these appointments. I'll close them for you. We'll share them, whatever. Do you guys see a big opportunity there? Okay, so he has a FSBO system. I don't even want to go into like him investing in new stuff, because this is the easiest way I can say, hey, go buy new leads. Like, I don't want to do that. We want to use the well-oiled stuff that he has right now. Yes, good, are we good? So he's got the FSBO expired. What I would say is, hey, what converts better, FSBO or expired? High level.
For me right now, it's FSBOs.
Okay, FSBOs convert better.
It's opportunity anyway.
Okay, so now he has what he originally thought was an opportunity problem. He can actually mitigate that with people. So instead of buying new leads, he can bring people on, I'm going to conceptually say for free, like conceptually, because you get paid on the result, right? So if you got 3 people tomorrow who would follow your system, would that start to add opportunities to the table?
Yes.
Okay, so over the next 10 days, what is the only thing that Nate does for the first hour of the day? First hour, what should he do? Recruit. I don't know what he's doing right now, but it's probably not your top priority right now.
Not recruiting.
Yeah. So the problem, it's very easy to say, dude, turn on Zillow for, for the next 3 months and see how it goes. Like I could easily say that. He'd have more opportunities, but now he'd have to build systems to actually work those opportunities. Instead, he's already seeing success here. The hard to be recruiting now. So would you believe that if he spent an hour a day for the next 10 days, he's actually going to make progress and get a sense of what is out there? Yes? But there's a problem, right? He's going to have to go get an agent, get the agent in the office, pitch the agent, and then close the agent on his economics. What does Nate actually have to do to get ready to go recruit? Let's say he got a call. Let's say he got an agent to come to meet with him in the office. What happens now? The value prop, 100%. So Nate should be like, okay, Sharran the agent comes into the office. Hey Sharran, I'm working through some insane growth in our business. What I've done is over the last 12 years, I've put together a system which actually converts for sale by owners into an insane amount of money. Let me show you. Here's case study number 123 Main Street. We did this, we did this, we did this. We got this result. Here's number 2, 124 Division. We did this, we got this result. Here's number blah, blah, blah. We did this, we did this, we did this. We got this result. Do you see that we're doing the same things? Yes. Would you have any interest in doing this? Because if you did that at an average sales price of $325,000, you make $8,000 for doing this activity. That is the pitch. If the agent, now why do I say that? If the agent says no, then you know it's not a good fit. If the agent says yes, now there's self-accountability. You're like, dude, I told you that to make $8,000 per deal, these are the 3 activities because it gets this and I go on the appointment. Would you like any more help with these 3 activities? No. Awesome. From 8 to 12, you're going to do this. And then out pops $8,000. Would you like to do more of this? Like you should say, you do these, like my favorite thing, you do these things and it'll rain appointments. The reason I'm saying to be really mechanical right now is I want to have Nate to be in a mad dash to get to the clarity of 75 goals, 75 units, right? He already has them. Now, if it was building a system, I would offer something completely different. Would you be able to articulate the 3 things that they need to do and the 3 case studies?
The 3 things they need to do for sure, yes.
Okay. Have you already shown that the 3 things that they can do can result in?
Yes.
Okay. So how powerful is that proof? And here's what we generally do. We walk into an appointment, we're like, hey, come on board, my team is awesome, we have great culture, you can make a lot of money, meet Sean, meet Jeff, if you do this, if you do that, it'll be pretty cool. No. Bring them in on the mechanics. If you get mechanical commitment and mechanical rapport, everything changes. So I would say so 2 things that Nate would do in parallel. Number 1, he's got to figure out how to get people into an appointment. And number 2, he's got to figure out what he actually shares with them in the appointment. Good? Because the entire part of going on a listing appointment is just because you get a bunch of listing appointments, it would be terrible if you go into the listing appointment and don't deliver anything of value because you've indexed more on getting the appointment as opposed to delivering a great appointment. Okay? So if you can build this, you are a winner because you can just say, like, just do this math, right? Now let's talk about getting the appointment. Would you like me to show you a framework where you can actually do an ad, an email, whatever on Facebook to actually recruit the type of agent that you want? Okay? How many of you were in the morning when I showed you the intentional capture? How many of you in the morning? Quick framework, but I'll show you how this actually works, right? Nate's thinking, okay, you have some hesitation or you're thinking, well, how do I actually find people that fit this mold, that actually want to talk about that? How many of you are thinking the exact same thing? Yes, maybe? Okay. This concept is called intentional capture. I want to recruit, and you have to do this on paper, okay? So Nate's thinking, okay, who is the type of person that he wants to get in the appointment right now? Give me the type of person he wants.
Hungry.
Hungry. So we're going to write out some characteristics. Hungry. Keep going. What else? Sorry, say again? Hardworking. So work ethic. Good.
Flexible.
Flexible. Good. Accountable, good. Coachable. Say again? Non-ego, so no ego. Okay, let's take a pause there. These are the characteristics that this person should have. Generally, the problem for us right now is we don't have the ability to take this and convert this into an avatar of a person. Would you agree? Let's actually do that. What is the result we want? So we want a person, I do not know, this is live, I have no idea, we're making this up as we go along, right? Just like the 4-1-2 open house formula, right? Let's do this right now. So you want a person that is willing to follow a plan to make money. Good? Something like that. That is willing to take initiative, take a proven system, and actually get results. Awesome. You want to have a person that will willing to follow a plan with a proven system with the right culture. So here, you see how I'm thinking about it? And so you're like, you're looking for somebody that is entrepreneur-minded, who wants to follow a proven system to create wealth. Is that good? Kind of, it's hungry, entrepreneur-minded. I'm trying to use these words to create that, right? So this is the hardest part of the entire thing, and could you please, take a second and work with me on this, right? Just give me 1 minute of your focus. We're going to write down 6 words or phrases. We're going to write down 6 words or phrases that is in the mind of a person like this. So we're going to call this person Jeff, right? It's always easy to give this person an avatar and a name. What is Jeff thinking about right now? Give me the entrepreneur-minded, proven system to create wealth. Right now, what are they thinking? So use the words in their head. So let me give you an example. The person is thinking, this entrepreneur-minded person wants to beat the 9 to 5. Hey, how do I beat the 9 to 5? How do I beat the 9 to 5? How do I beat the 9 to 5? An idea, right? Okay, so they're thinking, how do I beat the 9 to 5? So I'm going to call it the 9 to 5 grind. How do I beat the 9 to 5 grind? It's in their head. Use the words. What would be something else they're thinking? Financial freedom. Okay, good. How do I get some financial freedom? Okay, keep going. What else is in their head? You use the words in their head, not what you think it should be. Control my? Awesome. How do I do things on my own time? How do I control my time? So I'm going to call it time. I need to use time in some way because what do I do with my time? Okay, keep going. What else is in their heads? I'm driving to work. I am Jeff. I'm driving to work. What is the conversation in my head? Say again? Positive motivation. Good. I'm going to dig in a little bit. What does that mean? So, 1 second. Go ahead. No. We're staying with you.
Good structure for wanting to learn more.
Wanting to learn more. So, open-minded, right? So, I'm thinking, so what I'm thinking is I always go deeper, right? If only someone would take a chance on me. If only someone would give me an opportunity. If someone would give me a formula that I can do. I'm thinking that, right? So maybe open-minded, and maybe give opportunity, right? Does that encapsulate what you're thinking? Okay. I don't want to put words in your mind. These words are super important, that's why. Okay, give me 2 more. Sir, you said something. Or someone said something over here. Okay, so what would he be thinking in his mind? Say again? It's a slogan? Okay. Okay. Ma'am. Good. Okay, so go further. What is he thinking in his mind? Good. Awesome. Awesome. How do I make more money? This is very good because we never talk enough about that. Very good. 1 more. What else is in his mind or her mind? Control. Coach, tell me more. Okay, how can I create a path to wealth? Maybe something like that? Maybe something like that. Go with that, right? So, would you agree that these encapsulate that? Would it be okay if I gave you a Facebook ad encapsulated exactly like this, or a video that Nate could do. Okay? The framework is very simple. It's called, you guys should all write this down. It's called the hook, the story, and the offer. Let me break this down for you. The hook is, are you an entrepreneurial-minded person stuck in your 9 to 5 that wants a proven system that can create wealth? Okay? Are you seeing I'm not deviating from this board? Right? Otherwise, we're like, oh, we start doing flowery language, copying things. No. Are you an entrepreneurial-minded person that wants to break out of the 9 to 5 grind and wants a proven system to create wealth? Does that completely change? And if I read that and I'm that person, does it mean something to me? I want to beat the grind? Okay, so let's write it out. So, are you a entrepreneurially-minded person breaking the 9 to 5 who wants a proven system to create wealth? Good? Now, this is when the story happens. This is when I look at the ad and I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then you see on the ad it says see more, right? And you click. Now the story. Now the story. Watch me as I do the story. Would you agree that I have never done this before? Like, this is live, right? You can say, here's how the story goes. And this is what Nate would actually write. He would write in bullet points. I was just like you. At one point, I was in the 9 to 5. I was in the 9 to 5 grind. I wanted to break out of it. I just did not know how. I just yearned. Look at this. I just yearned for financial freedom. I just wanted to make sure what I was working for was actually going to pay off for the rest of my life. Most of all, I was just sick and tired of my time being spent doing something that gave me no joy, that gave me pain. I wanted to create an impact. I wanted my time to be something more meaningful. The funny part is, I want to work as hard. I wanted to work just as hard as you want to work. And all I was looking for was an open-minded mentor that would give me an opportunity, that would give me a chance and create a completely new future for myself. A lot of people took a chance on me. My brother took a chance on me, and I want to do that and pay it forward. I want to create something so special for somebody. I want to help them make more money. And most importantly, I want to help them get out of the 9 to 5 grind and create a pathway to wealth. If this sounds like you and a career where you want to beat the 9 to 5 and want a proven system to create wealth, just message me below for all the opportunity that I have to get a strategy session with me. Calendar link below. Do you see what I just did? I just went through this. Right? He can do that on a video. The way to do that is actually like on a Facebook post. You know these emojis with the green checkbox? That's what you do. Green checkbox, green checkbox, green checkbox, and then the pointing down arrow with the calendar link. Write that ad. Put a picture of your entire team standing together with a sold sign, and hit boost into the area target agents. Wake up the next morning and just look at appointments. That's how you recruit, right? But it was very specific because we said if we didn't get Jeff the avatar, we couldn't build any of this. Do you see how I did that? Like, this is super important, right? This is super important. This is not hokey. Would you guys agree with that? The problem is we're thinking, oh, how do I write this ad? Looking for it. Let's go look. Hey, I'm going to go on a random Facebook group with some random coaching company. Hey, anybody have a random ad for an agent? I'm going to copy paste it and like what? Put it on Indeed.com? Are you kidding me? No, I'm serious. Like, we have an insane opportunity. We got to be so dialed in because now the entire strategy is in here. If we didn't write it together, like, how cool do you feel like that encapsulated what you were selling, right?
That's awesome.
You guys get that? Now, his entire job should be, and he should tag his friends, tag his fear, and say, please share this. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. If he wants to do video, he should do the same thing on video, and the video should be just someone on his team just interviewing him. Hey, Nate, tell me about this. Hey, you know what? I just wanted to beat the 9 to 5 grind. It's for somebody and it's not for others. But I just wanted financial freedom and I wanted to serve my clients along with the way. And you know, the most important thing we have is time. Time to be with our families, time to be with our friends, and time to serve our clients. You just go with the words in their mind. As you do that, they totally connect with it and they're like, I want what that guy just did. Right? That's what you're trying to do. And that's what starts to really change everything. Good? Helpful comments? Comments? Could you do this?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. And so two big so first takeaway, VIP list. Second takeaway, the 3 steps that they need to do, or the 5 steps that they need to do, and the 3 case studies proving that if you do those 3 or 5 steps, that they're going to get a result. Hey, I'm going to go on the appointment with you. You don't need to do any of this, etc. And then run the ad and keep running it, because you just want as many people as possible, because you already have the system. The problem with opportunities and leads is, let's say I have 100 leads, and let's say 3 agents can work 100 leads. Go with the idea, right? 3 agents can work 100 leads. Now, if Nate has to bring on 3 more agents, he needs 100 more leads. But when you have a system like this, Nate doesn't need any more leads. He just needs great people who will follow a system. He's sitting in an insanely powerful position right now. He just needs good people. They're going to be harder to find, but when he finds the 1 or 2 right people and he can hand them the system, he's home free, because now he can spend his more time building the system and dialing it in. Okay, take a pause. Reactions?
No, I love that. I think the biggest thing that I take away from it is we don't think about who these people are, in their own mind, and to translate that into a book and story is powerful.
Good.
Yeah, because you usually just hire out of necessity and not out of
Yeah, design. Yeah.
design.
Yeah, good. So while you were all watching, was this an interesting experience?
Yes.
Right? Can we first give it up for Nate for being cool and being up here and sharing this stuff? Awesome. So I know he's got to go do your thing. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.
So what did you get? Here, I'll grab the microphone for me. Ideas that you picked up, like 2 or 3. Adam.
It's similar to what you were talking about earlier, where you're changing your perspective, whether you're looking at it from the consumer's perspective or a team member's perspective. It's not looking at it from our perspective. It's trying to find the right person by looking at it from who you're looking for's perspective.
Correct.
So just that mind shift, whether you're looking for business or looking for teammates, is important.
Awesome. Great. Was that helpful? Was that good to go through that process? It was easy to see it happen, but like, you guys should be able to do that constantly with your team and your business, and the more you can do that, the more you understand the business, right? So like, I don't need any prep for this. I've seen so many opportunities that it's kind of unfair that I can do this, right? What else? Any other things that you thought was, oh, why did he ask that question? That was interesting. Why did he start with existing opportunity versus new? Like, what were you thinking, and what direction did anybody think that was the direction I was going to go? What direction did you think I was going to go? Leads. Right? You were like, oh my gosh, how does he get more? Like, leads are not the answer, right? I want people to have joy be the answer. We got to remember, it is speed to get his result. If it was, how do I get to 100 deals or 300 deals over the next 3 years? Yes, I would have thought about it completely differently. But it was how do I get from 43 to 75? I'm like, dude, I want to reuse the assets that you have in your business so I can get you there faster. Speed, money loves speed. Like, always think, how can I get this fast? It's not about, I want to build a business over the next 18 months next 18 months, I have no idea the economic conditions we're going to be in. I want speed, I want it now. Cool? All right, give me 1 or 2 more takeaways that you guys saw. I'm just going to wait here till you, yeah.
A lot of times we're looking at what we want instead of what we're looking to hire wants.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah. Because then they connected with your mission, right? Like, we're like, hey, I want people to fit into my culture. No, like, we want the right fit. Okay, awesome. So their mindset. Okay, good. Awesome. 1 more. Anyone else? Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, it's when you break it down, just down to the core, it's so simple. We just overanalyze it and overthink it to make it that much more complicated than what it truly is.
Yeah. That's why I would offer you that there's this really amazing saying. It says, fear has no place on paper. Fear has no place on paper. And the reason why we overcomplicate stuff in our head is we daisy chain, and then there's you may say what we label as complexity is just our own fear. And it's okay, like, I'm totally scared too, but I try to put that's why I try to write everything down, and then when Nate starts to see his entire business on the whiteboard, he's like, like, I feel safe. And then you can start to actually think, right? That's why I wanted you to see this live, because I didn't deviate from these 6 things. I just stayed here. And did you notice I went in order? We didn't make this up in order. Like, I wrote it up however you guys told me to, and I just went in order. But we've thought about it from the client's perspective. So the order, even if you jumble it up, it doesn't matter. Because the hook is the same, the story is the connection, and the offer is the calendar link. Right? So you can do anything in the middle with a bunch of checkboxes, and now you can do it in video, you can do it in email, you can do it in whatever. Heck, he should write this, and he should send it out to his past clients in his sphere and be like, hey, if you know anybody that wants to do this, please hit forward. And it completely starts to change that. Good.
What's cool about the offer is you've already laid out your expectations.
Totally. Yeah. And I love, great point. And I also love something where I'm a big fan of doing a ton of work up front so I don't have to manage a ton of work later. And what I mean by that is, the last thing I want here is somebody to say, message me below, now I don't get back to them on time, they're like, Sharran's too late and get back to me, he's not actually serious about this. None of that. They read this, they're excited, they schedule an appointment, they show up for the appointment. If they don't show up for the appointment, they're not a good fit, move on. Right? To me, I want to do everything possible, I call it front-loading the effort. I want to do everything possible up front so that I don't have to do work later. So I just do, like, you try to build a system up front so things start to really work. Awesome, great catch. Was that good? Was it helpful? Okay, awesome. Can we give it up for Sarah and we can do something, we do it again? Okay. Everyone say hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
It's like AA. It's like, hi, I'm Sharran, I'm alcoholic, you know. I'm not, by the way, like I'm, you know, this is vodka, yeah.
I was gonna say.
Is this fun though? Like you guys enjoying this? Is it at least entertaining?
Yes.
Okay, entertaining.
I'll tell you in a few minutes.
So you're gonna find this, did Nate take a picture of this?
He did.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna come up with that again. That was really like we're not gonna do that again because that was pretty good. But interesting, I just share this with you guys. Folks, who was here in the morning, like in our private session? So we did something similar in the morning, right? But we did it, and you saw it second time, and you're like, okay, I did the same exact process. We did the same thing, but I probably do this 10 times a week, right? Whenever I write an ad, I do this 10 times a week. So you get good at it, and you get the confidence that it really works when you can do it over and over and over again. Cool? Helpful? Would you guys, you'll try that, right? Okay, awesome. Okay, very cool. Before we talk, how many of you saw like similarities in your business as I was talking to Nate, right? You're like, oh yeah, I do that. Oh, I'm very close to that deal flow. Oh, I don't want to add leads. Oh, I have this if I can bring someone on. Oh, like there's similarities, and we all have, that's why having agent-based mastermind groups is super, super important. And even if you don't want to do stuff that is in your marketplace and you feel awkward about it, like go outside of your marketplace or talk to Jeff and his team, and maybe they'll connect you with agents around the country. But Coach, you'd appreciate that. Like mastermind groups are super powerful. Yeah. Okay, awesome. How are you? We're going to do the same process. I did the same on a whiteboard, like same thing. Same line, don't overthink this, right? Okay. How long you been in the business?
13 years.
Okay.
4 years with the team.
13 years. Oh, here, let me get it for you. 13 years, 4 years with the team. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to say 13 years. And on the team, what do you do? Do you do listings and buyers?
I do not. I'm out of production.
Out of production?
I'm the operating partner and recruiter for our team.
Awesome. So you lead the team, which is awesome. How many people on the team?
We currently have 13.
13 people on the team, including admin and ops?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me agents on the team first. How many?
Correct. We have 4 buyers specialists.
Okay.
And we have 2 full-time listing specialists.
Okay. And can they do listings, or buyers only do buyers, listings do listings, and some? How does it work?
We'll be cross-training to that model by spring.
Okay, awesome. So 4 and 2, that's 6. You have 7 in ops?
Well, we have 2 we have 2 new agents being onboarded, so
Okay.
my head is 13.
And the new agents, are they new licensees?
Correct.
Okay, new licensees. Okay, good. And how many ops?
We have hired
4
4.
ops.
Sorry. We've been in mass recruiting mode.
Good.
Yes, we have 4 operations with a director of ops, and then we have a director of sales leading the sales team.
Awesome. So this is good. 2018, 2019. So units, how many?
201.
201. Taller. Love it. List versus buy.
45% list, 55% buy.
Okay, good. Volume.
Volume was 49.3 million.
Awesome. And average sales price?
Average sales price was 240.
Okay. Do you have a team as a geographic farm?
We have predominant market share in one specific market, which is the only one we farm until today.
Okay, good. 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 Awesome. You guys get a good sense of our business, the team's business already, right? Would you all do me a favor and like you should be able to go do this for yourself, for your business, just so you can always have this in front of you. Cool? Okay, it's not hard, right? Not hard? Okay. Goal for 2019?
330 units.
330.
79.2 million.
79.2. This stays the same roughly?
Yeah, we based it on the same, but our expectation is that it increases.
Okay, good. So 201 to 330, like that's a 70% jump. I'm kind of making it up. I think that's
Not 70, but.
big jump, right? So now you ask the discovery questions. So walk me through what worked last year, and how do you grow? So first, let's talk about what worked last year.
Our
Biggest source of, oh, did I turn it off? Hello? Did I speak? I can speak loud.
Yeah, go. Belt it.
I'm never, yeah, poor John. The majority of our business came from Sphere and which we are phasing out of. So past clients, referral, we were doing, but not at a high level.
Good. Sphere, how big is it? Sphere past clients?
We have, we've scrubbed it down drastically, and we have 3,212 right now.
Okay, so I'm going to call it 3K people in Sphere. Web leads, you're dialing them back?
We are working our way out of paid lead generation from Zillow.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So this is good.
Yes.
Always ask the question here, no on your team. How many of you have had paid lead sources in the past? Okay, good. Goes to half of the room. Totally okay to move away from that, right? Totally okay. How many leads in the past do you have in the repository?
Say the question.
So like you've had paid lead gen for a while, you've gotten those leads, you have contact information. What are those? What's in that bucket?
So we have approximately 1,500 in a pond.
Yeah.
That are,
On drip?
That aren't being nurtured yet.
They're not being nurtured.
They're not being nurtured by our team. We have more leads than we have talent.
Yep. Did you hear that? So like that was like a, if it's big opportunity here, right away, not being nurtured, which has an opportunity as well, right? Awesome. What is and you're going to phase out of creating new web leads, which is good. I think you have enough opportunity. What is the growth plan? How do you get from 201 to 330?
So we're making our referral a scalable system. I think the most difficult part of growing our business, what we realize is going from organic to scalable and systematic. And so we are implementing what I think a lot of you guys have heard of, the promise, into our team, where the entire team is ensuring that that referral comes prior to the end of the transaction. So that's our biggest system to implement this year.
Wow, that's so cool. I totally am geeking out on that. If someone like that, how cool? Do people understand what she just said? Like she just said, hey, we're creating the system called the promise. And the idea is that, so correct me if I'm wrong, the idea is that there's a 90-day total transaction, and the entire team is committed to touching and delighting the consumer during those 90 days so that they can activate a referral within that 90-day period. Am I correct? Do you understand what she just said? Like, that's insane. Because this is what we do. Oh, I got a bunch of people in my past clients in fear. It would be awesome if they like referred me something. No. We are in the total like past clients in fear. I hope they send me something model, right? And they have taken that and made it intentional, right? Super, super powerful. Like I've known a lot of teams talk about that. I've yet to see anybody do it. So I'm super excited. Like hopefully you'll give me a behind the curtain look at how you guys are doing that. I'm super, super curious about it, right? But how cool is that, right? So that's a big opportunity. I just want to make sure you guys understand what she's just saying. I'm not even saying you need to put in place a system which generates a referral before the deal closes. I'm just saying at some point it may be okay if for the past client in sphere that you already have, that you have some kind of plan, maybe over the next 15 years, that they can actually create some referrals for you. I'm being a total jerk right now, like, you know? See, look at the intentionality in that 90-day period versus like we already have a lot of opportunity, right? We should be doing more with it. Okay, awesome. So the first one is, you hopefully will see more referral-based business go up, right? That's number one. What else do you do on growth?
So we are working an expired campaign, which we have never until this year. We have someone fully dedicated toward that platform and that lead generation lever. Carrie Shull, which I think you know.
I know very well.
I'm like obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I think she's like the most amazing person in the world. But I heard her speak and we became friends.
Yeah.
And she has, I think, like 50 lead generation sources. We have 20.
Yeah,
so
good.
going deep and figuring out, all right, it's not about, you want to maximize those lead generation sources, but don't limit yourself.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, so this is good. So the idea is to add an expired source.
Correct. So
okay.
Expired campaign.
Okay, and so the listing partners, Liz and your other listing partner is going to like heavily focus on that, or how does that work?
Yep, just Liz. Yep, point. Just Liz. We are John. So my business.
John's like, whatever, dude.
My business partner is our other listing partner, and we're working on scaling him out, and we're working on building a developer division.
Okay, good. So are you noticing like a few things came out? First thing that she popped out was, and it's great to get people talking, and you'll get a lot of information. The first one was, hey, we need to activate these opportunities. That's the first one that comes to mind, right? The second one is, hey, we're going to do expireds. So Liz has to up her game. I'm just telling you, you probably need a skill set upgrade to figure out, hey, how do I talk to these people, et cetera. You need an appointments and skill set upgrade, and they're probably not all ready, so you need a follow-up campaign. So you need a system for that. And then one of the partners is getting pulled out, who's been producing last year, and they're going to go do developer division. But so their production might scale back a little bit, but hopefully you have some developer opportunities already lined up, correct?
It's an 18-month. It's
okay.
Going like this.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Our plan is to go deep on our current team, recruiting three new buyer specialists and one new listing specialist.
Okay, awesome. So how many of you think that we can go like 14 different directions with this, right? So let's keep it super simple. The goal is to get Sarah ideas that she can do stuff right now. Two biggest things that I see right away are you got 3,000 people in the sphere. And for the amount of deals that your team does, do you do like a VIP list?
We do, and we just brought on a person that is our director of sales she brought 1,000 people to our database. So we were at 2. We realize now we have to communicate to those groups differently.
Yep.
So we're working on different tiers, and I loved the VIP.
Yeah.
VIP list. Yeah.
Awesome. So the first thing I would do is put a weekly or 3 times a month, deal of the week like idea on the drip. So 3 times a month VIP list. The fourth touch is the success story. Super simple. That's all we do, right? And they touch the list, and if they unsubscribe, whatever. We don't care. We got to stay in touch with them. That I think is like with that 3,000 leads, that's insane, or sphere that know who you are, that scale is insane. I will tell you, if you have 200 people and you hit them once a week, like you in like 12 months, you will reign business. Like you didn't think I'm crazy. You will reign business because all they've been getting is crap, which is just listen, just sell, market updates, e-alerts. And now you're coming in and saying, hey, listen, I'm going to give you something pretty cool. That will be my first one, right? I'm going to give something, you guys should probably execute on this, and I'll drop the blueprint for you, and I'll actually show you guys the blueprint. 1,500 potential leads. Those are probably leads, yes?
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna show them a format. So let me give you a little education on how buyer leads work. And you should be able to not just explain what you do with buyer leads, you should be able to explain what the buyer leads are. So for example, I got it, cool. So you guys, this is math. You guys know what this is? Okay, this is called a normal distribution, right, or bell curve, right? Basically, this is 100% of the people in the world, right? So we're saying there's 1,500, I'm going to make an easy number here, sir. There's 1,500 potential people that are in the pond that have not been warmed up, right? Over the last 5 years of our tests, online, web, or like buyer inquiry leads fall into 4 categories. Okay, and you guys should know this because this is how you deal with them, it's how you speak to them. First it's 10%, 10%, 40, 40. It's called the 10, 10, 40, 40 rule. Okay, 10% of people want to do something right now. Okay, 10% of people never want to do anything, but you have no idea that they never want to do anything, so you have to treat them like they want to do something. Good? 40% need time, and 40% need education. 90% need time and education. So when we generate a buyer lead, for every 100 buyer leads we generate, 10 may want to do something right now. In 5 years of testing, did you know that if you send 14 touches in 11 days, you can activate 10% of the 10%?
It's only 1%.
1 out of 100 if you do 14 touches in 11 days. Are you telling me that you know somebody that is doing 14 touches in 11 days?
We are.
Absolutely. You are?
We are.
Amazing. Amazing. This will carry over, but super, super important, right? Super important. All right. Good with this? Super important. You guys need to know this, right? What has happened now in Sarah's situation is that they have 1,500 buyer leads, for example, and if you were to do one thing, I would do this. We have no idea who that 10% of yes is. We have no idea because it's probably sitting for a while. Would that be fair to say?
After those 10 days of opportunity, they go into oblivion.
Okay, good. So this is good. And you know that's very normal across the board, right? Can we all like totally agree that that's how it works? This is like totally in my face and it's making me freak out. No, you're totally good. I'm weird and nuanced. Okay, so when you take, so I'm going to take we're going to take, there's 40 that need time and 40% that need education, right? Mm-hmm. Always lead with education first, and then if they don't respond to education, then you drop them in the time bucket, and the time bucket just becomes deals of the week and things like that. Cool? So let's try the education. So if I were you, I'm going to draw out a system. You guys are all going to be like, I can't believe you're so crazy that you're going to draw this out, but I'm going to draw it out for you anyway, and you can use a part of it or all of it, etc. Right? I want you to think about what I'm going to call an evergreen buyer masterclass. Have you guys heard of what an evergreen buyer masterclass is? So I'm going to write it out. It's the evergreen buyer masterclass. So this is how this works. They have 1,500 leads, right? She's going to bucket them into pods of 100 each. Okay? And they're going to send each of these 100. I'm going to overdo this, but I want you to get the idea, right? they're going to send each of these 100 3 emails. And each of those emails are going to say something like this. For the last 200 buyers that we worked with, we've realized that there are 5 things that they always wanted to know during the process. Instead of forcing you to go spend time with us or research crazy sites on the internet that we're unsure about, our team actually put together a masterclass that is only 15 minutes long, and it covers the 5 things that you need to know before you buy a home in today's market. Click here if you would like private access to that masterclass. Don't overthink this. I'm going to show you exactly how to do all of that. All right? They're not going to respond to the first, so you're going to get 33%, and then they might just drop off, right? So if they drop off, they're going to go into another pool, and I'll teach you what to do with that pool. So they go in here. Now, whether they take the first email or the second email or the third email, and by the way, I'm going granular because I know your team can handle it, right? So I want to go detail into this. All 3 of them are going to go to one page, and the page is going to look like this, and it's going to say, it's going to have a picture of your team with a sold sign or something like that, and then it's going to say Evergreen Buyer Masterclass. You're going to learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sign up here. Good? When they sign up there, they get to a page that says, this is called the thank you page. The thank you page. The thank you page says, awesome, you're fantastic, we are preparing your private masterclass, check your email. This is all a ruse. The reason is that if they signed up for the masterclass, I could just give it to them. But if I gave it to them, it's not special. I want them to click through that shows me their seriousness. Okay? You're just like, oh my God, Sharran, you're so weird. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. Okay, are you tracking with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. And you may also think, like, this is not like the 412 formula. Like, I am not making this up on the spot. Like, we have been running this for the last 5 years, right? So I know this inside out, okay? So there's a thank you page. Once the thank you page happens, here's the first thing. Immediately, they get an email saying, Sharran, congratulations. We got your request for the masterclass. Our team is actually preparing the private viewing area for you. We'll get back to you as soon as this is ready. Congratulations, Sharran. This is almost ready, right? This is, hey, the viewing area is ready. Close to 50% will actually click this. The other 50 won't, and you're like, hey, Sharran, FYI, I've been doing this only for my private clients. I don't want to leave it up, and actually I want to be, have high integrity with them. This is going to go down in the next 7 days. Just a reminder, just watch it in the next 7 days. Okay? Now, all of these link to a single page with a video that is a slideshow video with 5 slides, and Liz is just talking through it. Super easy. By the way, for our clients, I even recorded the video for them because I know they were not going to do it. So I just recorded the masterclass, right? But you have to understand something. The masterclass is 100% irrelevant. It doesn't matter what's on it. What matters is they went through this process and they raised their hand, and now you know that they raised their hand so you can call them, right? Because it's education. So the masterclass is basically, it says, here are the 5 things. It's 5 or 10 minutes of saying, hey, this is how you get pre-qualified. This is what happens to do this. When you write an offer, this is what you do. If you see a home on Zillow, Realtor, or Trulia, send it to us first so we can do the diligence. Whatever the 5 things are, right? Nice catch. Whoa, clap it up for her. That was awesome. Where's our insurance guy? Dan, are you here?
Oh, yes, Dan.
So after this, look at what happens here. At the end of this, on the bottom, there's a Calendly link. And it says, sign up for a strategy session. Here's why I gave you all of this. Once you build this is what happens. She throws 100 people into the first email. A week later, she throws another 100. A week later, throws another 100. So 15, she just throws a couple hundred, because you don't want to get spammed out. That's the problem, right? And she doesn't do anything else. She just waits for calendar appointments. There's nothing else to do here. How amazing is that? So for every 100, 3 appointments pop up. Amazing. Every time this pool grows, every month, every week you take your 100 deadest leads and you throw it into that. You keep throwing 100 dead leads into that. So you're doing it for the rest of the next 3 years. Open house leads, great, throw it into that. But you're doing 100 at a time. And out pops an appointment on the other end. If it does. If it doesn't, no problem, because now you're going into the VIP list. So now they don't need education, they need time. You do this, that is the easiest way to warm up your 1,500. Otherwise, you're going to get people to start and call, and they're going to get really pissed off.
Yeah, so getting ready to do.
Yeah. But no, but that's insane. So let's talk. I'll give you this model, and I'll give you I'll give you everything, right? You should be able to turn this on. Once you turn this on, you just throw people in the funnel. Does this make sense? I'm sorry, I'm very nerdy when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? But we need greatness is in the granularity. You need to know all how these pieces work. But imagine this. I want to show you something. If somebody built this for you, you never have to touch it ever again. Ever. You just you go to an open house, 13 people sign up, you try calling them for a week or two, they don't respond, 13 people in the first email, you're done. If they don't respond, they pop out on the other end, they just drop into your VIP list, you start doing VIP lists once a week. You don't have to do anything else. You got to get your business where you add a bunch of people to a list, you do a VIP list, you do a webinar. You're just doing cool things that you like. Otherwise, it's I'll sit here and do an hour of lead follow-up. Are you kidding? I say, well, now let me do our scripts. Let's actually train them. Let's actually call them, and they're going to be all pissed off. You haven't called me in a while. This is crazy, right? But always think, you may think, what else can I do for education? So Liz may have this idea that says, hey, we did this masterclass on this. Hey, the interest rate environment is changing. We're going to do another webinar related to how to take advantage of the interest rate market. Anybody that has gone through this, that has gone through this already, send them all an email. Hey, I know you went through our buyer masterclass and it wasn't the right fit for you, but we know that the interest rate landscape is changing and a lot of our clients want to know what it is. Jump on this with our chief economist. Jump on this with our loan officer partner, and in 15 minutes they'll be able to tell you this. Do a Zoom webinar registration. Everybody lights up. You want to do stuff that is super easy, one-to-many scale. Everyone thinks that they need to activate leads by going and activating one by one. You do that there's no speed in that. You want to activate leads at scale. Good?
Yeah.
Could you try, so VIP list for you.
There is no try, but I will execute.
There is no try. Okay, so I got 2 friends that are Sharran, you're crazy, I'm just going to leave. No, I'm totally joking. No, please go. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. They're like, oh my God, he really is crazy. Okay. Well, but does that, while I went through this super mechanically, would you like me to give you an idea on how to do this super easily? Yes. So assume none of this. You send one email. One. And you say, hey, I'm doing say every Thursday at 10 o'clock, you're doing a buyer masterclass. Say you have your 5 slides and you're doing it live. Hey, if you're interested in this, just sign up, and here's the Zoom link for the webinar. They just come on, they don't come on, whether there are 3 people or 30 people, you'd still do it. You don't need any of this. You just send one email, and every Thursday at 10 to 10:45, you do a buyer webinar. Once you bring on Jeff, once you do it yourself, once you bring our credit repair, but whatever it takes, you go to open houses, and you tell the folks at the open houses, hey, on Thursday, our team's going to do a buyer webinar. It's one of our most well-attended things. It'll only take 30 minutes. Just jump on. And now you just start getting people standard to that webinar all the time. And you see who shows up because now you know they're warmed up. Yeah. So instead of doing this is 100% automated. And I am geeky and 100% automated because I like waking up in the morning and saying, oh, I have 4 calendar appointments. This is fantastic. Let's put more money on Facebook because I'll get more appointments on the other end. It's going to rain money because now I have to actually convert those. That's totally okay, but you can do this very low tech as well. I wanted to show you the high tech so you understand what I'm trying to do, but you guys can do a Zoom webinar, click here to do this, send one email, put everybody in BCC. You don't need an email marketing system. You can do it super simple. Yes? Am I totally not BSing you, or are we good? Okay. Was this helpful? Yes. What direction did you think I was going to go? No idea, right? I had no idea either. No, I was super open. I had no idea. I wanted to give her, because to me, I zeroed it on 2 things. 3,000 people in the sphere and 1,500 people that are not nurtured. And she's like, that's an opportunity. And I knew she's like, I got to bring on an ISA or whatever. I was like, oh, come on,
I think that's my biggest takeaway is that I always think I'm in the mindset of hunting for talent and growing and scaling when what we need to do is take a hard look at our systems to figure out how can we get it to work harder for us.
Yeah.
And to maximize, because we don't have a lead generation problem, we have a lead conversion.
Yeah.
And it's because we only have so many hours in the
Yeah.
day. And so I love this. I'm gonna nerd out too. I'm gonna
Awesome.
dive into this. So thank
I would actually start this. You guys should just start this. Get this. I can give you the outlay for the 5 slides or 5 topics. You can customize it for your marketplace. And I would send the first 100. Don't even do anything. I would send the first 100 a link directly to the Zoom webinar. Just do a Zoom webinar on Thursday. Like, test it right now. 9 people show up. It's an amazing win, and it's a 1 to 9 appointment.
Yeah.
Like, how amazing is that, right? I would do it, and then everybody that attended your open house, turn them on, send it that email too. Thursday from 10 to 10:30, Liz is just going to do this appointment. Like, you're going to do it 3 times, and you're like, great, I don't even have to show my face. Click slides, blah, 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 drink a cup of coffee, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're going to get it on autopilot, right? And that's you do 1 Thursday is sellers, 1 Thursday is buyers, 1 Thursday is sellers, 1 Thursday is buyers, and just drive everybody to a one-to-many webinar. And that's how you nurture. Cool? Was that helpful? Okay, so takeaways, give me like 3. Yes, ma'am. Very cool, yeah. So use the assets on what you already have. Very cool, awesome, great takeaway. 2 more. Automate the heavy lifting, 100%. Because, dude, the hardest part is once you get that done, you bring joy back in your business, right? Very cool. Automate the heavy lifting. All right, 1 more. Brian.
It's the 3rd time I've seen this. And
Yeah.
earlier this morning we were having something like this.
Yeah.
It's like anything else, repetition, because you are really good at delivering this solution. And some of us going back and practicing this very thing to solve our own problems, like recruiting for Nate.
Yeah.
To build that model again and again and again. Way back in the 80s, I used to go to vacant houses practicing my script when nobody was there, so I could do it well.
Yeah.
Somebody was there.
Yeah.
And there's so many solutions to that you've just gone through to be really comfortable with it versus, wow, that was way above my pay grade, somebody might say, but to do it again and again and again. So do workshops inside with the LOs. Having this workshop inside of these offices to go through that workflow, so people go, I get it.
Yeah.
In any case, because it's the 3rd time I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
First time I'm like,
What is he talking about? Yeah.
yeah, but just keep practicing this.
Yeah.
Illustration is how you get comfortable and confident.
Yeah. Awesome. So I want to give you, I'll leave you guys with one cool nugget. So to me, anytime I see something, the nerd in me will go to, how do I pitch this in the living room? Right? I instantly go to, how do I pitch this in the living room? So we built the system like November for our inner circle clients. So we actually built all of this and handed it to them, right? So they didn't have to do anything. You just put the 100 leads in and out popped appointments. So I took the model that I built. Can we turn the TV on for a second? Never mind. Yeah, no, of course. Stay for a second. So I took the model that I built. So I had this, right? And what I did was I took it to an appointment and I was like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as agents, as we get buyer inquiries, a couple of things happen. I've done the last 10 open houses or buyer inquiries in the last 10 listings in this area, and we have 97 leads, 97 inquiries. Well, you may think that every agent has these 97 leads and they're going to all call related just to your house, but they're not. So the value I bring to the table is twofold. Number one, all my leads are being nurtured, my inquiries are being nurtured this way, and I know who's ready to buy right now. Let me walk you through this. And I walked them through this. They're like, wait, what? And I say, as people come through your open houses and make buying, I put them back through this because I want to figure out if they actually they need time or they need education. Because now, everybody that I have in my system for the last 10 years, you get the benefit of because I'm constantly nurturing them. Every other agent wants to get buyers for your home today. I'm using all the buyers that I have. I'm trying to nurture them to see if one of them fits your home tomorrow. And the client's like, you do that for us? And I'm like, this is like the greatest slam dunk ever, right? So I do this, and I know this, and I just sit there, and I'm like, let me show you. And I just show them the system. And I actually have, the reason I wanted to show you live is I actually have this in boxes. So I actually show them like a video, and I show it to them, and I build it live for them on the screen. And that's what I wanted to show. Hey, Jordan, could we turn the screen on, please, one more time? Thank you. And because I want to show it to you, and you'll be like, okay, now I get, because I showed the client that, and now the client's like, oh, Sharran has all these systems to activate leads, like we should totally go with this guy. And I don't even have to do anything. You don't have to put anybody through anything. You just have to tell them and show them what you have with a video. And they're like, now you're miles apart. And then that's why I tell a lot of our agents, why do you wonder like we win more? Because I show so much more, right? You think if I showed this, it's going to impress a client? Yes, it's going to go over their heads, but that's great. But that's like I know my stuff really well, right? And if you can, you don't get a lot of times with whiteboard, but if you can show that stuff, it gets very exciting very quickly. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. Can we give super big hand for Sarah? How amazing that like she knows to the decimal point of the goals in her business, right? And I'll tell you the hard part is if you know those numbers, it's super easy to help. Like I was waiting, I'm like, okay, what am I looking at? Well, I can go, if we had multiple days, I would be like, okay, tomorrow we're going to work on VIP list. Day after we're going to work on this, right? But today I was like, how can I give you something really, really fast?